Unleash Your Inner Charismatic Alpha. This book delves into the secrets of becoming an alpha male, mastering the art of confidence, decoding female psychology, and developing an irresistible charm. Learn powerful seduction techniques, navigate the dating scene with confidence, and make a memorable first impression.
Hello, this is Eric Holt, and you are listening to Alpha Male Charisma: How to Attract Women and Master Social Skills with Dating Secrets and Powerful Techniques to Improve Small Talk, Influence, Confidence, Charm, and Sociability, provided to you by United Audiobooks. I hope you enjoy my audiobook. Now, let us begin.
Introduction. You'll know how to approach a female once you learn how to make them chase you. Gaining a girl's attention and eventually her heart depends entirely on the pursuit. Once you figure out how to get her, you'll see that winning her love and affection is easy. There is a reason why women are consistently seen as complex people. However, mastering the art of making women chase you requires a deeper understanding of women and their motivations. The difficult part is to get through her defenses so she feels at ease with you and is willing to chase you. Even if males have excellent intentions, girls often find it difficult to trust and open up to them. She will be interested in you if you can pique her desire, which is what the chase is about. It's a battle to win them over, so the chase is exciting for both men and women. Desire separates her from repeatedly telling you she is busy anytime you want to hang out and into a persistent inquiry about her availability. This is another reason there are so many rules about not calling her the next day or being too clingy too soon. You'll eventually see how ridiculous these restrictions are, yet they also have a purpose. Uncomfortably, until you prove to her that you're worth the chase, passion can be difficult to control. You can start to impress and pique her interest if you can distinguish yourself from the other males who showed up earlier. Men typically judge a woman's attractiveness based on her appearance and make this determination within the first few minutes of their first encounters. They might initially be infatuated with her and subsequently decide that she isn't worth it or become distracted by someone else, though this can change. How you treated her when you first started talking to her greatly impacts your relationship with her. Making a girl fall in love with you is not that difficult, and we ensure you are at the top of your game. The ones that succeed in getting the girl are the ones who never pursue it. Men who are hard to get and don't chase women are also popular with women. So here are some suggestions to help you become an alpha male and win her heart. We devised 10 chapters to make the lady swoon and follow us. Unleashing Your Inner Alpha. Do you ever notice guys who seem to have everything going for them? They are in excellent form, have the most alluring, successful companions, and their work lives are constantly humming. It can be tempting to think they've discovered a genie who can fulfill their wishes. But our society sees men who act that way as alpha males. You may still have a negative impression of alpha males from high school or college who are aggressive, loud, and fierce. Guys like them are merely annoying, despite thinking they represent alpha status worldwide. Being a real alpha male is more about how you run your life than how others see and treat you. You can do anything once you understand that being an alpha male is about authority over your destiny. Let's examine the characteristics and routines of really successful alpha males and discuss how you can make the decision that will transform your life. What is an alpha male? The belief that alphas dominate within a social hierarchy is the foundation for the general idea of alphas and betas in males. Although even the renowned Wolf research creator that gave rise to the term alpha has subsequently revised his mind, this may be true in animals. Men who erroneously portray themselves as combative alphas are typically bullies who won't give in. The first thing to realize is that alpha status has nothing to do with conflict or confrontation. It comes from being in control of your own life. A beta male, for instance, travels where the wind takes him. He goes to work at a job he doesn't enjoy because it keeps food on the table and pays the rent. He faithfully attends to his 401k and conscientiously marries a lady he obediently loves but lacks passion for, planning to retire one day when he is elderly and life has passed him by. Alphas see every day as a chance to improve their lives, their place in the world, and the lives of others around them. He's constantly seeking new ways to succeed, whether discovering side hustles that could lead to long-term entrepreneurship or finding a fulfilling job. The alpha males look out for themselves, plan for the future, and live each day to the fullest. In other words, alphas take control of their lives rather than trying to escape them through vice and leisure. Understanding the traits of an alpha male. Most alpha males are often perceived as self-confident, powerful, successful people with leadership traits. Others around them appreciate them and are at ease taking the initiative and making decisions. But what precise indications might you look for in an alpha male? Whether looking for clues that an alpha male likes you, trying to spot one in your own life, or wanting to know more about this idea, read on to understand the 9 real indicators of successful alpha males. Alphas speak and persuade with dignity and respect. Alphas are often considered self-confident and assertive, but they can be problematic if these traits are not applied with decency and consideration. Empathy and the capacity to hear and comprehend the viewpoints of others are necessary for persuasive behavior and effective communication. The ability to do this is a sign of an alpha male's capacity to set aside his ego and take into account the wants and desires of others. This exhibits a degree of maturity and self-awareness necessary for effective leadership. Additionally, alphas who treat others respectfully when communicating and persuading others are more likely to forge enduring bonds and foster a welcoming environment. They can persuade others without force or deceit, and their communication style is probably longer lasting and more successful. This holds for both verbal and nonverbal cues. Alpha male body language is open, confident, and courteous, and there is a lot of eye contact. Overall, demonstrating leadership, integrity, and the capacity to forge strong bonds through respectful communication and persuasion indicates an alpha male. These traits are necessary for any effective leader, and they play a significant role in what defines an alpha male as such. Alphas are aware of their flaws. Alphas regard failure and perceived flaws as opportunities to grow rather than threats to their status or identity. Since they understand that taking chances and trying new things is the best way to develop and succeed, they are willing to do so even if there is a potential for failure. A true alpha male can also accept his frailties and faults as essential to his identity. He doesn't try to hide or downplay his flaws. Instead, he seeks to strengthen them and make the most of them. Someone with alpha male energy can show tenacity and resolve without fearing failure or perceived shortcomings. Alphas are self-confident. Alpha males have faith in their capacity to pave their way. Trusting your instincts is paying attention to and acting on your inner guidance, despite opposition from others or attempts to convince you otherwise. It necessitates self-confidence, the capacity to believe in yourself, and the capacity for self-reliance. Even in doubt, an alpha male who follows his instincts can act swiftly and decisively. He trusts his skills and knows his gut will guide him on the right path. An alpha male must, however, be conscious of the limitations of relying exclusively on his instincts. Before making a choice, gathering information and considering additional considerations is crucial. An alpha male who trusts his instincts while still taking the time to assess the circumstance carefully can make wise and calculated decisions. Overall, the capacity to follow your intuition is a true hallmark of an alpha male because it exhibits confidence, self-awareness, and the capacity for quick and deliberate action. Alphas look for real ties. You cherish genuine ties with others as an alpha male. You're not interested in partnerships or conversations solely to meet your wants. Instead, you care about supporting others and being there for them when they require advice or support. Naturally, this does not imply that you can always assist them. You can have times when your needs come first, whether putting them first in a relationship or taking care of your physical and emotional needs. However, you generally try to support others and forge deep bonds. You also experience great fulfillment and satisfaction from interacting with others as you forge these connections. Alphas aim for improvement and mastery. Alpha males constantly strive to improve and master their craft. As alpha males, they recognize that success in all facets of life requires continuous self-improvement. They also recognize that life is an ever-evolving journey. This desire for personal development and mastery takes many forms, including ongoing learning, goal setting, achievement, measured risks, and continuous self-improvement. Alphas often want to surround themselves with people who can help them develop as individuals since they constantly try to improve themselves. They are aware that they cannot always rely on their ability to succeed in life. Rather, they must seek the advice and help of others. They constantly look for mentors who can help them on their road to success. Alphas are aware of the necessity to create goals and take decisive actions to achieve those goals to develop themselves continuously. They establish difficult but reachable goals based on their special skills and shortcomings. They then take action to achieve these goals by formulating a detailed action plan that specifies benchmarks and due dates for completing each component of the goal. Alpha males constantly strive to improve and master their craft. Alphas battle their demons. Contrary to popular assumption, being an alpha male entails more than having superior physical attributes and leading other men. It also entails facing your inner demons and learning how to cope healthily. Although many people view alphas as the definition of masculinity, they have a more vulnerable side that is often overlooked. Being an alpha male entails recognizing those emotions of self-doubt and dread and developing good coping mechanisms. This can be accomplished through psychotherapy, support groups, or other forms of therapy. Using mindfulness practices like deep breathing and meditation is a good approach for alphas to conquer their inner demons. Alphas can learn to control their emotions better, forge relationships with others, and enhance their general well-being by often practicing these skills. Alpha males are polite. Because they are self-confident and affable, true alphas have little trouble attracting women. Because he has the power to boost their self-esteem, the alpha male is someone to whom women are drawn. But being flamboyant and domineering isn't the only way people will be drawn to an alpha. Instead, he lets his genuine qualities as a gentleman and a man of integrity speak for themselves. Women drawn to this type of love partner value that he is manly without being overbearing. He is skilled at playing the role of the natural leader and macho guy, but he does so in a way that makes his followers respect and admire him rather than fear or dislike him. Alphas are change it or accept it. It has been long recognized that alpha males have a change it or accept it mentality regarding their choices and objectives. The ability to immediately adapt to any changes and the willingness to meet them head-on and maintain their commitment to the course set before them are characteristics of this attitude. One of the most significant characteristics of an alpha male's mentality is that same thinking, and anyone who wants to take on the world can master it. This mentality may be seen in how alpha guys interact with others and approach situations and challenges. They often have an authoritative and forthright demeanor and don't hesitate to express their opinions. Alpha males are assertive and take care of themselves. Even though it is awkward or unpopular, an alpha male won't hesitate to speak up when he sees something that has to be expressed or done. He knows that maintaining his physical and mental health is crucial to his capacity to lead and succeed. He doesn't mind deviating from the norm, openly opposing others, or expressing his ideas on any topic. However, he is also willing to change his position and admit when he is mistaken, demonstrating that he values honesty and adaptability above all else. Embracing the alpha mindset. Having an alpha mindset is essential for success with women. Dominance and confidence, two characteristics often associated with alpha males, are attractive to women. Here are some pointers for cultivating an alpha male mindset. Stop being afraid. This does not imply that you shouldn't feel fear. It's impossible. Alphas still experience fear but purposefully carry out their intended course of action. The distinguishing characteristic of an alpha male is understanding the risks and having the self-confidence to deal with any potential drawbacks of choice. Prevent pointless conflict. Whether you're about to argue with your girlfriend or someone rams into you at the bar, a man with alpha male features realizes that fighting isn't helpful. Always try to understand why someone could be upset or furious with you. This does not imply that you must submit to their demands, but it highlights the difficulty of reflection and its importance in all facets of life. Repeat it often. Look after yourself. Salads, sleep, cleanliness, and flossing are not sexy, but we do them because they keep us healthy. To become an alpha, in addition to performing CrossFit a few times per week, you must manage your stress and mental health. His hormones and feelings still rule a man who has complete control over everything but his anger, and he will never be able to be an alpha. Don't ever think you're good at sex. With a few moves, moderate stamina, and the unreliable compliments of a few sexual partners, many men get by in life. But since sex is a team sport, your teammate will find a new partner if unsatisfied. Even worse, your performance will suffer if you are self-conscious about your sexual prowess. Learning a few techniques, getting help with premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction, and improving your sexual skills are all effective ways to increase your power, which will increase your confidence. Avoid looking for numbness. Many people are content to crack open a few drinks and binge-watch television when they should follow their interests, such as producing, starting a business, or chiseling fat into rock-hard abs. Whatever your vice may be, porn, video games, alcohol, or weed, it's undoubtedly shortening your life and your attention span. Even when we just want to relax, the traits of an alpha guy push us toward discomfort and growth. Additionally, it feels much better to relax on the couch with a nice drink when we've worked hard to earn it by improving ourselves. Discover joy through purpose. What are you doing with your life if you don't have a purpose? What are you working for if you merely go to work to get the money you spend on vices and leisure activities? Are you happy to perform like a machine at work in exchange for the privilege of using your free time to pursue disconnectivity? Find your mission and vigorously pursue it until you can turn it into a profession. Give your time rather than money. Volunteer. Alphas work to improve society, beginning with their local area. Discover your neighborhood's breadline or homeless shelter and learn how you can help. And while giving money is wonderful and noble, giving your time is much better, since time is a limited resource. Using it to serve others develops character. Join social clubs that engage in volunteer work. Coach. Teach guitar to impoverished children in your neighborhood. Work on a community garden. Go grocery shopping for your elderly neighbors, etc. Do everything you can to make a difference for those around you. Stop awaiting rescue from others. Everyone who has achieved success in life has had help in some way. Alpha males are no different. Nobody has ever achieved success in life by working alone. But this is not the same as hoping for success from someone else. You'll always be a beta male if you're standing about waiting for people to give you money. This is still true when you patiently wait to get rewarded at work with a raise or promotion. Never wait for someone else to permit you to better your life if you want to advance in your job. Don't depend on others to make you happy. Suppose your partner's happiness or your kid's approval of you only makes you happy. In that case, you'll probably behave badly, which includes failing to correct your children and not standing up to your relationship. Stop sacrificing your joy as an expense to appease others in the near term. Nobody appreciates a pushover. The things you love and your life goals should bring you happiness. Don't ask others for their blessing to be happy. Be ready for a fight, but don't go looking for one. You'll have difficulty resisting conflict if you don't feel confident that you can defend yourself in a fight. It's more important to be able to defend yourself if someone were to come after you than to be able to street fight like Jackie Chan. Higher confidence levels are attained when you know you can face anyone trying to intimidate you. Follow your dreams embarrass-free. Want to compose the follow-up to Hamilton but are worried that your friends will mock you for it? Make new friends. Contrary to what others may think, following your happiness is preferable to limiting it to what may win their approval. We're not advising you to get a tattoo of "dance like nobody's watching" on your ankle, but that's okay. Instead, it shouldn't matter if someone is watching you or you're doing something you love. Do not fear resting. Since you're used to beer, Netflix binges, and the status quo, these adjustments may already sound taxing, and they will be. But that's okay, because it's equally necessary to unwind and replenish as it is to push yourself hard. Get a massage, or use a massager. Watch your sleep hygiene, and learn when to say no to take on extra responsibility. Take care of yourself. Men don't necessarily need to shave with a straight razor in a mountain stream with a bear howling in the distance as part of their self-care routine. Using skincare, sexual health, and hair care products is acceptable. Self-mastery, which involves self-care practices, leads to confidence. Get rid of the heteronormative gender biases and understand the benefits of small self-care. Keep your promises. Whether or not you follow your commitments is one of the key things people remember about you, especially for your children. Make only those commitments you can fully keep, since nothing is more upsetting than being betrayed or disappointed by someone you love and trust. Everyone you encounter will remember you for being a man of your word if you try to be one. Establish your values and uphold them. We're not advocating that you pin a classic on your values, but you should begin by outlining them yourself. Establish your beliefs and what is essential to you, and then use them to establish a foundation for your decisions. Develop your voice. Everyone seems to believe their opinion must be heard, even if it is incorrect, especially with social media. While arguing online is easy, sticking up for what is right in person is completely different. Alphas develop the confidence to speak up in uncomfortable circumstances, regardless of the location. See how much your perspective of yourself changes when you stand up for yourself and those around you. Embrace the discomfort. An alpha male is aware that pain leads to progress, whether you're trying to achieve your ideal body, starting a business, or having relationship issues. Realizing this is not enough. You must also learn to crave the discomfort that comes with growing as a person. We have innate desires for calories, sexual partners, and leisure, and want to attain those things as quickly as possible. Learn to appreciate the pain of growth. It's better than the anguish of regret, since achievement, education, and muscle growth all come from the soil of pain. Be assertive. The status quo has never resulted in anything positive. You're only distracting yourself if you're worried about upsetting your partner, employer, or the most important people in your company. Living your life by other people's standards isn't the best way to go, as you only have one life to live. Do not mistake this as a license to be obnoxious or disrespectful. Instead, be firm about what you want, even if it means offending someone. If your partner or friends are bothered by your getting better, they aren't on your side. Don't be a nice guy. Alpha males are helpful and kind to others because they genuinely care about them. Betas, or nice guys, only act kind when they want something in return or because they fear being treated unfairly by others. Be self-reliant. Alphas draw strength from within, even in the face of adversity. Recognize that even if everything goes wrong, you can still use your brain and willpower to improve your life. If you want to know if you're on the right track, don't ask other people. That's what beta men would do. Instead, come to your conclusion. Stop asking yourself, how do I become an alpha male? You presumably had an idea of what being alpha meant before you started reading this book, and it was probably based on external cues rather than innate confidence. Recognize that being the alpha means setting your course and controlling your destiny. Mastering the art of confidence. What sort of confidence attracts women to you? Many dating experts advise you to have the confidence to succeed with women. A confident man will show he is in control and aware of his values, goals, and dissatisfactions. Others will not readily sway a man who has self-confidence. They are determined leaders and have a strong sense of self-awareness. These all suggest that he is strong and trustworthy. Men who have a strong sense of self-confidence are irresistible to women. Because of this, it is widely recommended that you project confidence to draw women to you. Every man is aware of the need to possess confidence, but how? You should be aware that self-confidence is a collection of beliefs if you want to develop strong self-confidence with women. Learn more about boosting your self-confidence. What sort of confidence are the dating experts talking about then? Many men struggle to understand how to be the kind of confident person that naturally attracts women. Therefore, although they know the need for confidence, they are unsure how to convey it. I break down the self-confidence below so you may learn what kind of confidence naturally draws women. Continue reading. Developing unshakable confidence. Confidence doesn't just appear one day. You must put in the effort every day if you want to appeal to ladies. Confidence is a mindset. Let's look at 4 things you may do to boost your self-confidence and attract the woman of your dreams. Look after your body. Let's face it, women adore a man who takes care of his body. One of the best methods to increase self-confidence is through this. When you feel wonderful about yourself and your appearance, the other sex may find you alluring. More significantly, exercise promotes mental health. The most physically active, fittest, and strongest men reported lower stress levels than most with lower scores in these areas. They performed better on assessments of their mental resources as measured by their vigor, aptitude, and confidence in their daily tasks. I'm not saying you have to appear like Hercules, but first impressions are influenced by physical appeal. Pay attention to how you look in a way that boosts your self-confidence. Hit a gym, start lifting weights, and watch as your confidence soars once you attract the attention of the woman you've been looking for. Be presentable. You only get one chance to leave a lasting impression. Have you ever considered the impression other women could get from how you dress? What you put on says a lot about your personality and what is important to you. Women are wise to this sort of thing. Would you dress in worn-out jeans and a wrinkled t-shirt to impress a woman at a bar? No. You'd put on attire for success. It's not necessary to go all out to appear good. Choose clothing that passes the message you want to communicate to ladies and develop a look that reflects who you are. This is a fantastic method to boost your self-confidence and feel at ease in your skin. Practice your nonverbal and verbal communication skills. Communication is vital when it comes to dating and attracting a woman. Many men get bogged down in this situation. If you don't feel confident, it will be obvious in your body language. Men who are shy and anxious sometimes glance down, cross their arms, and hunch their shoulders to make themselves look smaller. This behavior does not appeal to women and conveys, "I'm closed off and don't want to talk to you." Your posture has an impact on how you feel. Practice holding your head high while standing tall with your shoulders back. Simply changing your posture will make you feel more confident right away. Maintain constant eye contact and pay attention to what a woman is saying when you are speaking to her. Don't try dominating the discussion. Ask her about herself. Praise her for her brains or sense of humor. The emphasis is on being sincere and true. From a mile away, a lady can smell cheese. She will, however, compliment you if she thinks you're being serious. Push your comfort zone to the limit. A man's confidence might be destroyed if he ventures outside his comfort zone and is rejected by a woman. He might therefore continue to avoid new circumstances or settings that make him feel uneasy among women. But if you just venture outside your comfort zone, you'll never succeed in luring the woman of your dreams. You must approach attractive ladies, start conversations, and learn to accept rejection. It all comes down to daily incremental steps. You can only improve if you're prepared to experience discomfort and awkwardness when you try anything new. You don't need to go overboard or do anything so uncomfortable that you get a panic attack. Start easy. When you see a girl in the store, smile, hold the door open for her, or say something nice about her outfit. Who cares if she ignores you or if she doesn't? You've taken a step toward meeting a woman who will. Enhancing your social skills. You will benefit from learning to develop your social skills in almost every area of your life. But really, where else can you practice social skills more than with women? It's a killer way to do it. But enhancing your social skills with women will also enhance your social skills in every other area of life. It will inspire you much, if nothing else. Read on to learn how to improve your social skills with women and other facets of life. Set a goal for it. You must first set this as a goal if you want to learn how to become more social with women. You must make up your mind to do it. This implies that you must acquire the necessary knowledge, find time to exercise your abilities, and resolve to carry it through. You won't automatically accomplish it by reading this book. You will only receive the necessary materials to begin developing your social skills. It is up to you to use the tools. Go outside more. You need to start going out more often, or at the very least, spend the time you do go out more wisely if you want to learn how to enhance your social skills with women. You need to start chit-chatting with women when you go out. Decide how many ladies you want to talk to in one night and set reasonable goals for yourself. This will allow you to hone your social skills while also helping you become more at ease while speaking to women. Possibly the most crucial skill you can have when raising your game's difficulty. Talk to women wherever you go. But it's not only about nightclubs and bars. We genuinely think a man with well-developed social skills can talk to ladies everywhere, even on the bus, at a coffee shop, and while merely strolling down the street. Develop your social abilities in situations where others wouldn't typically interact. It also enables you to develop new social skills you didn't even know you possessed. This is one of the best methods to feel more at ease speaking to ladies. No pain, no gain. If you exercise, you know that if you aren't pushing yourself when lifting, your body won't change. Similarly, this is true for social skills. You won't develop the social skills you want to, which will make you very effective in almost any circumstance if you don't push yourself past your comfort zone. Remember that one of your goals in developing your social skills is to reduce some of the awkwardness you may feel around others. What women want. What women want in a relationship is a subject that has baffled men for generations. Men sometimes have no idea how to respond to questions like this because of gender disparities. We discuss understanding what women want in a relationship, especially from their male partners. Every woman has a mystery, and men must understand it to satisfy them. Even the smartest men are challenged by the intricacies of women. Even the most intelligent guys are still perplexed by what women desire in a relationship. Men's relationships with women are largely determined by their energy, motivation, happiness, self-confidence, money, social standing, and life expectancy. In a heterosexual relationship, A man's behavior influences a woman's happiness. The simple truth is that everything hinges on how a man perceives a woman's feelings and how he reacts to them. There is no such thing as right or wrong or a list of do's and don'ts. It has to do with a man's want to understand his lady. Decoding female psychology. Men often have a hard time understanding women. For you, that issue is resolved today. This will help you join the select group of men aware of these 8 secrets of female psychology. Knowing the reasons behind your love interest's actions and how to react makes dating much easier. So let's get started. Women aren't just interested in your appearance. Biology underlies attraction. It primarily depends on one's capacity to provide healthy children for other children. For this reason, men prefer young women with wide hips, large breasts, and a narrow waist. It explains why women consider factors other than a man's attractiveness. Women traditionally need a strong, manly guy to take care of them and their families. Even while it's less crucial today, women are wired to focus more on a man's personality than his appearance. Women care about your appearance, but largely for the impression it gives them of you. Being tall and powerful indicates that you can take care of her. She'll presume you can't take care of yourself if you're not well dressed and groomed. Some younger females seek out attractive men to receive the affirmation of dating a pretty boy. However, once she develops into a self-confident, sophisticated lady, that becomes significantly less significant. Although few women will admit it, most women are open to casual sex. Both men and women enjoy sex. They have to be more selective about who they sleep with, which is the difference. If they pick the wrong companion, the consequences will be even more severe. One of these repercussions is having a negative reputation. It could be seriously harmful if it becomes known that she is easy. Women know that excellent men won't want to have a family with someone who rides a village bicycle. They therefore make every effort to escape this label. Women develop lust. Women may want casual sex. However, they need to keep it under wraps. Invite a woman to your home after her friends have left if you want to have a brief fling. Better yet, find a good excuse to go there so she may claim to her friends that it just happened, and one thing led to another, or you two might claim nothing happened. Thanks to dating apps, organizing a covert one-night stand is now easier than ever. We now live in a hookup culture as a result. Some teenage girls have abstained from it. Even still, the majority who have won't confess it. Women desire your leadership. Additionally, attraction is strongly influenced by sexual polarity. More manly males attract females. Women want you to take the initiative since you are a strong leader with many masculine qualities. They also expect you to initiate contact, pick the venue for the date, choose when to kiss them, etc. A man who asserts himself allows his girlfriend to unwind and celebrate her femininity. Only then will she start to get excited. Women react to emotions rather than reason. Logic is the focal point of masculine force. Emotion is the focal point of feminine energy. Because of this, girls choose the exciting guy over the boring one who would make a great boyfriend on paper. Your best chance of winning a woman's heart is to play on her feelings. Why do you suppose women like to date unstable bad boys? These people are illogical, yet they offer a roller coaster of highs and lows in terms of emotions. Women will always prioritize their safety. You will typically be larger and more powerful than the woman you are pursuing. Be mindful of how intimidating this is. Until you prove otherwise, most women will view you as a scary creep. Because of this, it could take them some time to get used to you. You can demonstrate that you're not a creep by displaying good social skills. Smile. Maintain friendly eye contact. Analyze her nonverbal cues. Respond if she shows signs of discomfort. Respond. Putting on for your female friends is also beneficial. Bring them with you to the celebration. Post images of them with them on your social media accounts. If other people seem to like you, most women will presume you're okay to get out with. Women prefer males who are superior to them. Numerous studies have shown that women are unlikely to marry men with lower incomes, less education, or belong to a lower socioeconomic class than they do. This is evidence of female hypergamy. It goes deeper than this, at least in my experience as a relationship counselor. A woman's appeal will decrease if a modern man acts in a way that suggests he views her as superior. Women will never date simpletons because of this. A lady can only treat you like a fan when you treat her like a celebrity. When you simp for your crush, she might express gratitude but won't respect you. Women know that a quality man must be courted to receive their attention. Women will act rude to test if a guy is the real deal. Women desire a man who exudes confidence and masculinity. The issue is that they can't tell immediately if you possess these traits. If they're amenable to anything you say, you can fool them for a while. This is why a woman often comes off as a little careless while speaking to potential romantic partners. Mind you, not that she's a total bitch. She usually does this to determine whether you are the real deal. She will be more drawn to you if you maintain your composure and avoid reacting to her. Women want a man they can rely on, but only if he looks good. Even though an alpha male may produce champion offspring, if the mother is abandoned, that does no good. Not for the kids or her. Therefore, a lady must look for the most attractive companion who will also be devoted to her. She needs allegiance and attraction. Sadly, it isn't easy to find a man with both traits. Because they have more options, the most handsome men are also the ones that stray the most. In light of the current hookup culture, this is increasingly obvious to women. On dating apps, they are all pursuing the same men, having sex, and then being dumped. Many women waste their finest years continually repeating this procedure because they are unwilling to lower their standards. They are known as alpha widows. There are plenty of women out there who would be willing to date a handsome man who is prepared to commit. The issue is that most men lead with loyalty rather than attracting women. This is a typical good guy mistake that rarely works. Once you've shown that you're an attractive man, women will only desire your romantic gestures. Building emotional connection. You've met a woman who appeals to you. You enjoy being with her. Your sexual life has gotten off to a great start, and you want to develop this relationship into something more serious. You want to establish an emotional bond with this woman to accomplish that. However, it could not be very clear. And you might wonder how to connect emotionally with a woman. You can be afraid of moving the wrong way even though you want to connect with that person so much. Use these tips to help you genuinely connect with women without frightening them. One of the most effective, gratifying, and satisfying skills you can learn is how to emotionally connect with a lady, and with people in general. It improves and deepens your connections and allows you to develop yourself. Read on to learn how to develop this crucial connection with a lady. Be a good communicator. Effective communication is crucial when establishing an emotional connection with a lady. But how do you effectively communicate? You want a decent back-and-forth dialogue when speaking with the woman you are interested in. While you don't want to monopolize or steer the discussion, you also don't want to appear to be a complete hermit who doesn't respond to her questions. Your talks should ideally contain an equal exchange of questions and answers. You want to speak to her without any other interruptions. Do not check your phone when it beeps, and pay close attention to her comments. Rephrase what she said to her to demonstrate that you understand what she said. She might say, "I like to hike on the weekends," for instance. Perhaps you'd say, "It sounds like you enjoy being outside in nature." This is significantly more effective at teaching you how to establish an emotional connection than simply saying, "Oh, me too." Express who you truly are. Do you want to know how to relate to real ladies as well? There is an easy solution. Sincere ladies welcome honesty. It's unlikely for someone who employs all the traditional pickup lines to develop a strong emotional bond with a lady. Be genuine. Share your interest with the lady. If you enjoy your job, talk about it. Discuss what you might do to improve the situation if you don't. If an emotional bond is to develop, it must be between two people who are being completely honest with one another. Be honest and genuine so she can fall in love with you for who you are rather than some manufactured image you feel you need to project. Allow your weirdness to fly, even if you don't think it's unusual. She might enjoy your peculiarity. Permit her to open up and express who she truly is. You will feel more at ease with one another as your emotional connection grows, which is wonderful. Tell her she may be honest with you and express her hopes, dreams, and anxieties. You can let her show you her vulnerability and still adore her. For you to connect with her, she doesn't have to be flawlessly coiffed, dressed to the nines, and sporting perfectly coiffed hair. Let her know that as she is perfect. Kiss and touch. Continue the non-sexual physical contact. A smart technique to establish an emotional connection with the woman you love is gently kissing her without urging her for more. Touching her to connect rather than just to indicate, "I want to have sex," appeals to women on a profoundly emotional level. So as she is clearing dishes, kiss her neck. Before you depart for work, give her a firm embrace. If you want to develop a stronger emotional bond with the lady over time, kiss her before bed every single time, even if it is not an act of lovemaking. Additionally, it answers how to develop intimacy with a lady. Indeed, the important things are always the slow, incremental stages. Show your affection in many different ways. You don't always have to make the big gestures to connect emotionally with a woman. Yes, occasionally giving a woman a rose bouquet, perfume bottle, or a surprise weekend away is appreciated. Smaller, more private displays of affection can strengthen your emotional bond. Pour her a glass of wine while she begins to make dinner. While you're watching TV, propose to massage her back. Put a sweet note in her bag as she prepares for a work trip. All of these affectionate expressions might strengthen your emotional bond. Express your admiration for her. This one is quite simple. You can take some actions. Inform her of your pride in her when she overcomes a personal or professional hurdle. Let her see the awe you feel when you gaze upon her. Tell others about her successes when you are out with friends. On Mother's Day, thank her mother for raising such a wonderful daughter. This is also effective if you're new to dating and wondering how to get along with a girl you like. Furthermore, return to the good old days and sincerely compliment your girlfriend if things have gotten stale recently and you're wondering how to reconnect with her. The sparks will undoubtedly return and she will grin with joy. Support them as they face health issues. Going through a health scare together will strengthen your emotional bond more than anything else. If she is facing a health challenge, be there for her. Ask her how you can help. Take her if she needs to visit the hospital for testing. If possible, be there to support her during the testing process. Let her know she can rely on you to support her as a team as you navigate these tense situations. Maximize the time you have together. How can you make a girl feel something for you? We are all emotional beings. Spending quality time with your partner can help strengthen and develop your emotional bond. It will be tough to forge an emotional bond if you get into routines like binge watching the newest Netflix series on the weekends, abusing alcohol, or sleeping all day. This is a result of your lack of significant engagement. While occasionally watching TV or playing video games is acceptable, avoid making these activities a habit. You'll pass up the opportunity to forge an intense emotional bond with a lady and some of the most romantic moments you may share with your lover.
I hope you're enjoying my audiobook so far. It would be a pleasure if you could let me know how you're feeling about this audiobook in the comments section below. We would greatly appreciate it if you could also like this video and subscribe to United Audiobooks to have access to more best-selling audiobooks in the future. Also, please, if you are interested in getting more free audiobooks, please click the first link in the description below. Now, let's carry on with the next chapter.
Becoming irresistible. Being a red-blooded male, you find nothing more alluring than a stunning woman's scorching appearance. But wait a minute. Do not believe that ladies also desire that. Many of the males I know that resemble Brad Pitt are still unable to attract women. Women can be extremely fussy in romantic relationships, which is not surprising. They are very clear about the qualities they seek in a man, so you might be in trouble if you fall short on even one of these. I've compiled a list of qualities women value in a man to help you. If you follow this advice, ladies will immediately find you more appealing. The Alpha Man's Guide to Flirting. Being an alpha male refers to a man's dominance, self-confidence, and strength. It entails understanding what you want and getting it. Alpha males are often loved and imitated because they appear to get what they desire constantly. There are a few things you need to do and avoid if you respect the alpha male mindset and want to apply it to your personal life to flirt with a girl the alpha way. How to approach women confidently. Move like a dominant male. Avoid stumbling on to the girl's friends group before approaching her and clumsily attempting to converse. An alpha male approaches the girl he wants to flirt with directly, confidently, and purposefully. Walk more deliberately and slowly to project control. As lame as it sounds, do not hesitate to practice your walk in your home. Look for a location with mirrors so you can look at yourself. Don't be ashamed to practice a little. Sometimes people have unnoticeable twitches of nervousness. Establish eye contact. It can be daunting to stare directly into a girl's eyes when chatting with her, especially if she is quite attractive. But if you avert your sight, it implies that you think she is beyond your reach. Most women won't be enticed to flirt with a man who has already instinctively expressed his feelings of unworthiness. Make eye contact as you begin a conversation and identify yourself. This does not imply that you should stare at her. Doing so can be unsettling. It's acceptable to look away periodically. Say hello with a firm, confident voice. Wait until there is a little lull in the conversation if she is talking before saying something like, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but I had to come say hello." It's a positive sign if she seems a little surprised. You've already clarified to her that you're self-confident and won't hold back when going after what you want. To demonstrate your maturity, extend your hand for a handshake. Be sure to clasp her hand firmly enough for her to understand that you feel confident in your interaction. Don't use pickup lines. Don't act like you're reading a flirting textbook to chat with her. Women are drawn to sincerity. Confidently explain to her why you approached her. Anything goes, from, "I saw you from across the room, and I had to come say hi to someone so gorgeous," to, "I wanted to introduce myself to someone with such a lovely smile." Make sure you have another sensible opening prepared if you don't want to start with a compliment out of concern that it will seem corny. If you have friends in common, you can say, "You're friends with blank, right? I had to come say hi because I recognized you." A simple statement like, "I noticed you're eating blank. Isn't it excellent?" might be used to start a conversation. You can prevent awkward silences by planning to say in advance. Dialect and flirting. Ask her questions. You may steer the conversation this way. Controlling a conversation does not include talking over her, cutting her off, or coming out as a snob. It implies that you are directing the conversation. Asking her personal questions will help you steer the discussion and demonstrate your interest in finding out more about her. Ask her standard opening questions rather than anything intense or private. You can inquire about her relationship with the host at a party. Ask her basic questions about herself while you're out and about, such as her name, what she does, where she's from, and similar topics. After learning more about her, you can ask her more specific, in-depth questions. Use fewer words. Don't jump into lengthy stories or monologues about your life. Only discuss yourself when suitable. Let her talk more about herself than you do, and only bring up personal topics when she brings them up or when you want to emphasize a trait you share. The more you listen intently to her and the more she can communicate about herself, the better. Keep your tone upbeat and pleasant. Males in the alpha position never whine and feel sorry for themselves. Avoid being a Debbie Downer when talking to the female you're interested in because people make their realities. Use your sense of humor if you have one. A highly effective flirting tactic is making a girl laugh. Don't whine because you want her to identify with your happiness, laughter, and pleasure. If she says anything unfavorable, agree with her assessment while casting it more favorably. If she mentions the bad weather, you can respond by saying, "It's not great, but at least we can suffer through it together." Offer sincere praise. Don't try to win her over by showering her with compliments. Mention the appealing traits you find in her. Alpha males don't say things they don't truly mean since they are confident in themselves. This will not only demonstrate your sincerity to her, but it will also increase the value of your kind compliments. If she discusses her work, you could remark, "It sounds like you're very intelligent to manage all that." If you want to make her laugh with a joke, you may say, "You have a unique chuckle. I enjoy it." Simply telling her she's attractive won't make you appear an alpha male. Make a joke. Do not hesitate to tease her lightly. Alpha males exude confidence and aren't afraid to be sincere. Avoid saying anything that would truly offend her, but instead make her laugh by pointing out her silly behavior. Acting like you've known a woman for ages is a wonderful way to start a playful back and forth with her. You can add something like, "Oh," say her name, "you've always been so funny, clumsy, stubborn, observant, nerdy. Fill in the blank." If she begins to talk a little about herself, by making her laugh and feel at ease, you can attract her. Let the discussion develop naturally. Don't approach a female with the sole intention of getting a date. Instead, set out to engage in a wonderful flirtatious conversation. In contrast to flirting, which is far more lighthearted, enjoyable, and non-committal, picking them up is usually obvious to women. Let the discussion go naturally, and only make an approach if it feels right. Term out the discussion. Once you've talked for a while, respectfully stop the discussion, ask her for a date or get her number if everything goes well. Inform her that you enjoyed meeting and speaking with her if you know you will see her again. You've reaffirmed your alphaness by concluding the conversation on your terms. During a gap in the conversation, you can remark, "It's been nice chatting with you, and I will give you a call, see you later, whatever." Do not worry or fret if things don't go well or she doesn't appear interested. It doesn't matter that sometimes even alpha males get rejected. Keep going because this is the secret to being an alpha. You don't need anyone else to validate you. Nothing to fear from rejection. Having a look of an alpha. Look fantastic. This does not imply that you must immediately lose weight, shave off your favorite beard, or spend much money on new clothing. Determine your definition of great and embody it. Do it if it will help you stay active and get fitter. Do your hair a quick brush if that's all it takes. Feeling your best is key to being an alpha and flirting like one. Clean up whatever you believe will make you appear better. Groom yourself as you prefer, and always remember to be the best version of yourself, whatever that means to you, whenever you meet a female. There are alpha males with the physique of Zac Efron, complete with massive muscles and impeccable attire. Like Bill Clinton, other alpha males find strength in their intelligence and self-confidence. Outward appearance has less to do with being an alpha male than thinking. Keep up good hygiene. While personal choices like your hairdo and clothing are your own, maintaining excellent hygiene is essential. You can't be filthy or unpleasant to be around if you want the best chance of getting girls. Maintain clean skin and hair. Take frequent showers, and keep your breath smelling good. While keeping poor hygiene habits can make it easy to flirt, cleanliness will undoubtedly improve your chances. Understand the difference between cocky and alpha. Having a confident alpha demeanor can occasionally be mistaken for being cocky. An alpha is self-confident, flexible, and doesn't need to control the conversation or constantly be the focus of attention. They understand that they are only human, just like everyone else, and that they occasionally make mistakes. Contrarily, a cocky person is arrogant. His self-esteem is built primarily on wealth, privilege, and external circumstances. Will talk over people, be ruthless in their pursuit of success, and will not acknowledge their mistakes or offer an apology. A fully self-confident individual can take criticism in stride, let someone else take center stage, and own up to mistakes without overcompensating. Be a confident person. Don't be scared to take up space while maintaining a straight posture. Alpha males won't be slumped and twitching their hands or clothing nervously. Breathe deeply and tell yourself that you are the most attractive man there. If you're standing, have a wide posture and keep your arms at your sides. Regardless of your feelings, concentrate on projecting an air of ease, confidence, and dominance. To look like an alpha male is similar to working out a new muscle. The more times you do it, the easier it gets. You'll eventually begin to experience what it's like to be an alpha male. Seduction techniques that drive women wild. Learning to seduce a girl will require effort and knowledge of the female psyche. However, we have confidence in you and know you can succeed. Although you might believe it's a simple technique, you must approach this assignment with a sharp mind to succeed. Learn about these suggestions, implement them, and determine which is effective. Guys, it's time to get to work. Use this manual to arouse her sexual desire for you. Recognize that every girl is unique. You won't be able to approach each girl in the same way. Why? You need to understand that not all girls are created equal. Once you understand it, you'll speak to each girl differently rather than treat them equally. Surely not all men are the same, and women are not either. Pay attention to seducing her mind first. Women are thought and feeling creatures. It's closely related to their mental health when they experience an orgasm. So sex is not just physical for girls. It is also psychological. Similar rules apply to seduction. You must engage a girl's thoughts to know how to seduce her. Sending a sexy picture won't cut it. Talk about something captivating and encourage her to engage her imagination by using visual language. Girls enjoy laughing. There is one thing that the majority of females desire in a partner: laughter. But that makes logical, right? However, be careful not to overdo it. Her laughter must be genuine. It's also possible that your sense of humor doesn't align with hers, and that's fine. Trust us. There will be another girl who will enjoy your jokes. Avoid being overt in your attempts to seduce her. Everyone wants to remain unaware of their seduction. It makes it less enjoyable for you both. Consider this a test for both you and her. What happens if you tell her, "I'm going to seduce you," then? Not much. Maintain some mystery while taking in the experience. Refrain from acting immediately. Don't kiss her, even if we know you want to. Nothing works better to create sexual tension than depriving her of what she desires. The intention is to make her angry that you didn't approach her. So, move slowly because some annoyance is healthy. Display your inherent confidence. If you enter a room looking insecure, you will never succeed in learning how to seduce a girl. You must project an air of ownership. The problem is that you have to feel it genuinely. Fake it till you make it if you lack confidence. It is the only option. But keep in mind that exaggerating your confidence might potentially backfire. Be yourself and have faith in yourself. Focus on her face instead of her boobs. This is the most significant thing you shouldn't do. Keep an eye out. Don't treat her like a set of boobs. We know you want to glance down, but you want to charm her. Keep your eyes open, participate in the discussion, and display intellectual interest. Show some decency. Figure out her preferences. You should consider her preferences. She wants a relationship, not just a one-night stand, right? Observe her desires. Now, you don't have to approach her directly. Instead, use indirect questions to try and ascertain her interests. This way, you are aware of how to approach her. Avoid giving the impression that you want to sleep with her. If you're speaking with her, you want to take things further. We are aware of that. You do also. That is common knowledge. This does not, however, imply that you treat her like a piece of meat. Girls can distinguish between a man genuinely interested in them and one wanting to put her into bed. She might be into it if she likes the guy, but she doesn't think you've misled her. She most likely was aware of your plans from the beginning, and at this point, she would question if she should keep talking to you. Avoid using too many cliched pickup lines. Do not use them if you are not required to. Not knowing what to say to a female, then, simply introduce yourself to her. She will chat with you if she likes you. It's lame and dries out the pants to use some "did you fall from heaven" phrase. Believe us. Establish a soft, romantic ambiance. You are in control of creating a romantic mood between you no matter where you are, whether it's a club or a cafe. Therefore, you should sit near her, look her in the eye, smile and chuckle to show interest. Make her feel loved and appreciated. You want to be subtle and romantic, so don't go overboard. Only touch her in certain places. Avoid getting too close to her, or you'll appear too aggressive. You should touch her, but just in areas that aren't too sexual or too passive. You can, for example, touch her lower back, but avoid touching her behind. You're more likely to receive a smack than a token of appreciation. You are allowed to touch her knee, arm, and shoulders, but be sure to watch her closely. Stop if she flinches, retreats, or otherwise seems uneasy. Don't ask your friends for help. Seriously, you're no longer a child. Initially, you can use a wingman, but you should try to approach a woman on your own. You know you've made it when you can approach a woman without the help of a friend to serve as your wingman. Although friends might be useful, going it alone presents the most challenge. Always stay true to who you are. You must be true to who you are, which is very important. Many men have attempted to seduce women but failed because they are trying to pass for someone else. Why try to act differently? We know that some guys appear to attract women consistently, but it is just because of who they are. Seduction shouldn't change who you are, rather, it should highlight your positive traits. Go slowly. Keep in mind that you are not competing when it comes to seduction. The opposite outcome will occur if a woman feels pushed or under pressure. She must always feel valued, taken care of, and at ease. You're not competing for a medal here, so slow down. Dress for success. If you look good, you make an impression on her and feel better about yourself. Dress smartly. Avoid wearing anything too bright or flashy, and choose an appropriate outfit. You want to project an air of confidence while maintaining a dapper appearance. The poor girl will go away if you wear too much color. If you haven't taken the time to shower, style your hair, and apply a little cologne before you leave the house, she won't be very impressed with your clothes no matter how great it is. Listen to her. Being confident and taking over the conversation are two different things. The conversation must be two-way if you want her to feel at ease and as though she's getting to know you better. Show her that you are paying attention by paying attention to what she has to say. Be sure not to ask too many questions. Make sure you grill her with questions as well, instead of just getting her into the bedroom. This demonstrates to her that you are interested in her and genuinely want to get to know her as a person. A woman is more likely to desire to advance a situation if she feels safe and comfortable doing so. But refrain from interrogating her in an interview-style manner. That will produce the exact opposite result. Pay attention to what she needs, Make sure you fill her wine glass if it's empty. Offer her your jacket if she appears to be cold. It's all about paying attention to the minor details here and there. She will also consider you incredibly romantic and lovely and the type of guy who knows how to treat a lady well. Compliment her. Make sure she is aware of your admiration for her beauty. Timing is everything when complimenting a woman. Be sure to wait for a pause in the conversation, or retain her attention and say, "Sorry, I just can't get over how pretty you are." The secret to compliments is to ensure they are not overpowering but explicit enough for her to understand that you are fully drawn to her. Slightly intrude on her personal space. If you want to make a move your chair closer to hers while you're having dinner or out for drinks, or brush her hand over the table or her leg below it. But as we said before, pay attention to how she responds. You might advise taking her for a walk while holding her hand, or dancing where you can touch her. If you're going on a date at home, position yourself closer to her after you're more relaxed on your sofa. Always remember not to push things. Even if you follow all the necessary steps, there are situations when the chemistry just isn't there. Avoid trying to force anything if she isn't responding well. Accept that you can't win them all and cut your losses. Dating strategies for alpha men. The dating scene is a disgrace nowadays. Even if it didn't work and the evening didn't turn out how you had hoped, going on a date can still be one of the most enjoyable experiences you'll ever have. I'm not exaggerating. Instead, dating resembles a job interview where the employer, I'll let you guess who's boss in the setting, somehow suffers. I'd like to provide you with some advice and a healthy dating strategy in this chapter so you'll meet many ladies and, more importantly, have a great time. Navigating the dating scene with confidence. The dating environment can be thrilling and overwhelming for those just starting. It isn't easy to know where to start when there are many methods to meet possible partners, from dating apps to gatherings. But worry not. Anyone can succeed in dating with a little self-awareness, confidence, and sincerity. In this chapter, we'll discuss some advice for finding love, remaining loyal to yourself, and having fun while doing it. So let's get ready to embrace the great dating world and dive right in. Get to know yourself. Knowing yourself is the first step to navigating the dating world. This entails giving your beliefs, goals, and boundaries some thought. Finding a partner who is the right match for you requires that you be aware of your needs and preferences. Spend some time considering who you are and what that means to you. This can entail getting advice from friends, joining a group of supporters, or even going to therapy. Whatever you do, wait until you're confident before entering a relationship. Be real with yourself. Finding a companion who is a good match for you requires being real. It's unlikely that pretending to be someone you're not to impress your date would result in a happy and healthy relationship. Be authentic and certain that the appropriate person will value and adore you for who you are. Use dating apps. Finding love is now much easier, thanks to dating apps. You can contact people from all over the world with just a swipe or tap, but they can also be frustrating and stressful. Being deliberate and picky is essential for success with dating apps. Spend time making a profile that truly captivates your personality and dating preferences. Make use of recent, quality photographs and state your aims clearly. Before committing to a face-to-face meeting, take the time to get to know possible matches when you start conversing with them. Ask questions, reveal your hobbies, and determine whether there is a connection using the messaging section of the app. Have fun and stay secure. While dating should be thrilling and engaging, putting your safety first is crucial. This entails exercising caution when approaching strangers and keeping yourself safe. For your first date, meet in a public location and let a friend or relative know where you'll be and who you'll be with. Trust your gut feelings, and don't be afraid to say no or go if something doesn't feel right. In any relationship, Communication is essential, so be open and sincere with your partner. Discuss your limits, aspirations, and expectations with others while paying attention to theirs. Most essential, enjoy meeting new people and having fun while doing so. Finally, navigating the dating world can be fun and fulfilling, but putting your needs and safety first is crucial. You can find a mate that loves and accepts you for who you are by being true to yourself and real and taking precautions to protect yourself. Who knows? You might even stumble upon the love of your life. The art of making a powerful first impression. You'll never have another chance to make a good first impression. Although it's cliché, it's true. A woman will remember your first impression for the duration of her relationship. I assume that the phenomenon of falling in love at first sight has a lot to do with the fact that research suggests that the seeds of love are often planted during a first impression. I'm sure you've heard about the importance of first impressions. When you first meet a lady, you tend to pay close attention to everything she does and says. You may even take note of little facts that may help you build an opinion of her. You need to make a strong first impression and give ladies that love at first sight feeling to attract them quickly. Here are a few strategies for maximizing your first impression. Quickly initiate the action. If you spot a woman and catch her attention, move quickly to initiate contact. She will react less instinctively and more overthink the situation the longer you wait to approach her. For instance, if you make eye contact with a woman at a bar who notices you, she will get interested. She will still be aroused if you approach her right away. But if you wait too long, she may begin to create an impression about you that may be unfavorable. In other words, you want to get involved and say and do things that will give her the first image you want her to have rather than leaving it up to her imagination. Maintain a close gaze. Yes, making eye contact with a woman indicates your interest in her, but it also accomplishes another task. The love at first sight engine is cranked up and a strong attraction is produced. It's easy to understand why. When two people are in love, they look into each other's eyes. They stare for extended periods as their love grows. It fosters a powerful sense of connection and affection. Even if you don't have a close relationship with a lady, you can simulate that emotion by giving her a lovely glance. This requires you to look at a woman in the eyes more often than usual. Hold your gaze for at least 70%, whether speaking to her or just trying to capture her attention. This will increase the eye contact without becoming excessive and rekindle her sentiments of love. She won't understand why she feels such a strong bond with you, but she will. Wear a red item. Red is an attention-grabbing hue. It is utilized in sirens, stoplights, stop signs, fire engines, etc. Because of this, women take notice of this color. Red can make people feel scared or angry, but it can also make them feel passionate in the appropriate situation. Think of a red dress or a woman's red lipstick. Wearing red lipstick won't help you make a good first impression or draw attention from ladies. It'll just not work. But you can spice up your ensemble with some crimson. Put on something red, such as a hat, tie, or dress shirt. You only need to match the color of your red with a tiny bit of passion in your personality for women to notice it. The first impression is crucial in the end. Create sensations of attraction that resemble the sensation of falling in love at first sight rather than just making a nice first impression. Limit your hand gestures. If you want to convey the message of confidence, control, and focus, don't run up to a woman flapping your hands and twitching your body like you have too much energy. This type of movement communicates that you don't feel at ease in your skin. Women won't feel comfortable with you too. You want to maintain control over your body and project a calm demeanor. Gestures should be used, but only when necessary. Doing this will demonstrate that you are in charge and a calm, confident person to be around. Keep a swaggering stance. Approaching a woman hunched over, your arms folded, and your gaze on the ground is not advised. No matter how well you communicate with her, this body language will reflect a lack of confidence or a bad attitude. In either case, it's not a favorable attitude. Keep your head up, pull your shoulders back, and carry yourself with pride to convey that you are a man deserving of respect and adoration. A woman will want to meet you again if you have a posture like that when making a first impression. Be upbeat, but not overly so. Getting a positive first impression from a negative guy who moans about everything is hard. Women who encounter such a guy will start counting down the seconds until they can leave, and they will never look back. Women will expect your best behavior, and having a nasty attitude shouldn't be your best conduct while making a first impression. Your cheerful attitude will always improve a woman's perception of you. Just be careful not to overdo it. When you sing about the sun and lollipops, you could be a little insane. Simply communicate that you are pleased and that you love life. Discuss pertinent issues. You shouldn't discuss topics you regularly discuss with friends during a first impression. Avoid talking about anything personal. When you talk about how frustrated you are right now, the woman you are speaking to cannot understand what you are truly trying to express since she is unaware of your beliefs and values. Discuss your surroundings. Talk about the similarities you two share. Discuss the individual seated next to you. Keep the talk on the topic and avoid too much personal stuff. Pay attention to her nonverbal cues. Watch her body language to see what kind of impression you are creating on her. You can give a terrible first impression if she backs away from you, folds her arms, or raises her eyebrows. You should change your voice, subject matter, or body language in such cases. However, suppose she is grinning, appearing at ease, and maintaining eye contact with you. In that case, you can assume you are creating a positive first impression and continue your actions. Ask questions. You are almost certainly talking about yourself, your views, or your beliefs when you are not asking questions. You risk coming across as selfish if you talk too much about yourself. Selfishness is a major turnoff when making a first impression. Try to engage in conversation to seem interested in her. She will perceive you as someone who genuinely cares about her and what she has to say if you give her more opportunities to express herself or voice her thoughts and beliefs. If you can demonstrate your concern for them, women and other people will always want to see you again. Be sincere. You might need to be a little more formal in your communication during a first impression, but you still need to be genuine. If you want to impress a woman, avoid agreeing to something you disagree with. Don't speak to her in a way that contrasts with how you often speak just to impress her. If you uphold your ideals and ideas and remain loyal to who you are, you will come across better. Just be careful not to impose your opinions on others or they may perceive you as intrusive. Display good manners. Nobody enjoys rude people. She will have a negative impression of you and mark you as someone she does not want to see again if you are impolite, arrogant, or careless. Be sure to be considerate and pay attention to her feelings as well as the feelings of those around you. They will see that you care about others and have emotional intelligence if you are nice. Maintain good hygiene. This may sound apparent, but there are instances when we can leave the house without considering how we look, leading to several poor first impressions. People quickly form opinions based on looks, so even if you come across as well-mannered, intelligent, and humorous at first, they will still base most of their judgment on how you dress and look. No matter what, always leave your house dressed to impress to give the finest first impression wherever you go, regardless of whether you think you won't run into a woman. Keep the conversation going. A woman won't want to meet with you again if you have nothing to say, and there are a lot of awkward silences in your chat. This is because you will likely produce an awful first impression. That is not what you want to happen. You must therefore maintain a flow in your conversation. It's not difficult to come up with conversation starters. All you have to do is pay attention to the woman speaking to you and note any odd remarks they make. They will only bring up things they enjoy, consider, or are aware of. A reference to a person, location, or event is possible. For instance, if she says that the rain will be good for the gardens while it is raining outside, she probably has some form of attraction to gardens. When you run out of topics to discuss, bring up her comment about gardens. She'll undoubtedly have much to say. Make the most of your initial impression by using the 11 tips above. Never discount the power of a first impression. Women may want to see you again if you leave a good impression. Furthermore, if you don't leave a favorable impression, it may be impossible to do so again. Balancing inner and outer strength. Without thinking, what immediately springs to mind when you think about self-care? Do you instantly picture a woman treating herself to a bubble bath? Or a candle-lit chamber where she reads 50 Shades of Grey while sipping wine? Self-care is a series of rituals, routines, or practices, they can be as basic as you like, that help people recharge, refocus, and balance their personal pleasure and well-being. Self-care involves more than just treating oneself. It also requires effort and time, and males should unquestionably put it into practice as well. What exactly is self-care and why do men need it? Self-care is nothing more than making time for oneself. You set aside a certain time during the day or even a week to put your stressors on hold to enhance your mental health. Because of the absolute instability of recent years, attention to and emphasis on mental health have increased. Self-care should be prioritized since, during the pandemic, more than 1 in 3 persons in the United States reported having symptoms of anxiety or depression. Men are behind the times and might not even know where to start with self-care because it has historically been seen and advertised as something that women do more often than men. But why even bother making time for self-care for men? We must therefore maintain our physical, mental, and emotional well-being just like women. There is no one-size-fits-all self-care approach because it is a deeply individualized activity. The beauty is that you may define self-care as whatever you like as long as it keeps you physically and psychologically healthy. Nurturing the body, mind, and soul. What is the most effective method for healing our ailments? Your physician prescribed you a medication to balance your serotonin levels, having a couple drinks after work to decompress, or perhaps you overate to ease your depressive thoughts. Simple, fast remedies that temporarily alleviate the symptoms never result in long-lasting relief. Over the years, I've tried several methods to quell my fearful thoughts. In the past, I would choose the quick and simple route. At first, I didn't realize they added to my worries. I eventually realized that something had to change. Today, I have a variety of tried and true techniques that revolve around nature. We have internal and external treatments for the mind, body, and soul. I've been learning about and experimenting with these natural cures for years. I provide these in the hope that they would enable anyone to be patient, willing, and able to fully submit to Mother Nature's curative forces. The majority of them are open to everyone and free. All you have to do is have faith. Take a breath. How often do we take the opportunity to tune out the outside world and concentrate on what's happening inside? Turn off the screen and put the phone down. Switch on and listen for a while. Pay notice to how the air is causing your lungs to expand, your chest to rise, and your heart to beat higher. Release and let go of everything as you exhale. Make sure to breathe into your belly while maintaining regulated, deep breathing. Meditate. After practicing breath control, we can use meditation to go even further into our hearts and thoughts. Now that science has acknowledged the advantages of extended time alone, it has adapted to old traditions. Meditation can be practiced in any method. To help reach nirvana, utilize incense, breathing exercises, and music. Simply allow your ideas to come and go, surrender, and smile. Creating a mantra of uplifting affirmations to repeat repeatedly will help you realign your thoughts with your authentic, unadulterated self. Spend time outside. This world, which is a living, breathing, and incredibly self-nurturing place, is where we were created. We spend 90% of our time inside on average. We were meant to live more wild lives. Thus, this is not good for our bodily, spiritual, or emotional health. Okay, so I'm not advocating that we all migrate into the woods. Would anyone like to? No? Just me? And collect dandelion leaves and go rabbit hunting, but escaping the stresses of modern life by strolling amid the trees and birds is calming to the soul. We reestablish our connections to our roots by initiating Mother Nature's all-encompassing compassion and healing abilities. Improve your diet. Every component of our beings receives messages from the meals we eat. Focus on consuming full, raw, natural foods in your diet. Avoid processed foods, especially those that include refined sugars, and use alcohol and caffeine in moderation. Alcohol is poison that makes your body and mind feel lethargic. It's acceptable in moderation now and again, but abusing it regularly may harm your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. I have once more cut out meat, but this time I mean it. If you do, ensure it's the best possible quality and isn't consumed frequently. Moving more. Your body was created to move. Injuries and illnesses can result from idleness. Make it a habit of standing up often if you sit in a chair for long periods. Do a few bodyweight squats while moving around and stretching your spine. Many people's back and hip problems are caused by prolonged sitting. Additionally, discover a practice that speaks to you deeply on every level of your existence. It won't even feel like work. It will always be advantageous. Put sleep first. The miracle drug, and rightfully so. We can access this exquisitely created interior dream world for mind and body healing. Make it a habit to sleep more than 7 hours every night. Leave the technology behind and your issues behind. As they said, it's a good idea to sleep on them. Herbal infusions and tea. Nothing compares to a nice old brew. Through the decades, numerous societies have relied on tea, infusions, and diverse concoctions to treat illnesses. A morning cup of green tea can be calming because of its delicate flavor. A cup of ginger and lemon tea can energize and warm the spirit in the chilly winter. After a meal, a cup of mint tea can help with digestion. The world of plants is full of healing magic that can be discovered. Supplementation. Supplementing your diet with minerals and vitamins may be helpful once you've followed the previous remedies. Generally speaking, a diet high in various fruits and vegetables should be sufficient to meet most people's needs. The only exceptions are persons engaging in intense physical activity or those with a recognized vitamin shortage. Managing stress and overcoming burnout. According to research, a significant portion of Americans experience work-related stress, which is rising. A poll of more than 2,000 full-time U.S. employees aged 18 to 79 found that more than half of workers experience stress for at least 60% of the work week. Work stress has numerous negative effects on health, ranging from relatively minor ones like an increase in colds and flus to potentially dangerous ones like heart disease and metabolic syndrome. Finding a career with low stress is difficult, if not impossible, despite workplace stress is common. Adopting efficient coping mechanisms to lessen stress on your existing employees is a more practical course of action. By maintaining a positive morning routine, being clear about your employer's expectations, implementing more effective time management skills, and other tactics described in this section, you can make efforts to control your work stress. Establish a pre-work ritual. Many individuals arrive at work feeling anxious after rushing to get their children fed and off to school, dodging traffic, dealing with road rage, and downing tea instead of a healthy breakfast. They become more sensitive to workplace stress as a result. You might be shocked by how much office stress affects you after a challenging morning. If you start the day with planning, a good diet, and a positive mindset, you can find it easier to bear the stress of your job. Establish your day's expectations clearly. Uncertain requirements for workers are one issue known to contribute to job burnout. If you don't know what is expected of you or if the demands of your employers keep changing unexpectedly, you may feel a lot of stress. Talking with your supervisor may be helpful if you often question whether your actions are sufficient. You can spend some time going over expectations and talking about ways to meet them. Both of you will feel less stressed as a result. Avoid or lessen disagreements with coworkers. Your emotional and physical health suffers when you are involved in interpersonal strife. It might be challenging to eliminate workplace conflict, therefore minimizing it whenever possible is a good idea. Avoid office chit-chat, sharing too many of your political and religious ideas, and avoid using colorful office humor. Avoid people who don't get along with others if at all possible. If the conflict still finds you, know how to respond effectively. Plan to maintain organization. Planning to keep organized will significantly reduce your stress at work, even if you are naturally disorganized. Being well organized with your schedule results in less hurrying to get ready in the morning and less hustle to leave at the end of the day. Maintaining your organization can help you stay productive at work and avoid the drawbacks of clutter. Establish a welcoming work environment. Physical discomfort, often tied to where you perform most of your daily responsibilities, such as your desk, is another unexpected source of stress at work. If you sit in an uncomfortable chair for a short period, you might not even notice that you're stressed. But if you spend your entire working day in that chair, you might develop a sore back and become more sensitive to stress. Even seemingly unimportant things like workplace noise might be upsetting and make you feel mildly frustrated. Make every effort to create a quiet, cozy, relaxing workspace. Chunking is preferable to multitasking. The ability to multitask was formerly held as a great method to make the most of one's time and do more daily. However, people quickly realized that their speed and accuracy, not to mention sanity, often decreased if they were performing math while holding a phone to their ear. Splitting your attention does not work well for most individuals because it causes a specific frazzled feeling. Try another cognitive method, such as chunking, to keep up with your duties instead of multitasking. Jog during lunch. Many people feel the negative impacts of living a sedentary lifestyle. Exercising during your lunch break can help you counteract the negative impacts of work stress on your body and mind. If your schedule permits, you can take quick breaks to exercise throughout the day. Doing this can relieve stress, improve your attitude, and become in better condition. Try your hardest and reward yourself. High achievement can boost your self-esteem and help you flourish at work, but being a perfectionist can harm you and those around you, particularly in hectic, time-constrained work. You might be unable to complete everything flawlessly every time. The easiest way to avoid falling into the perfectionism trap is to aim to do your best and set aside time to acknowledge your achievements. You might discover that your work is much less stressful and your outcomes are better. Play music while driving home. Numerous advantages of listening to music include stress reduction before, during, and after work. While cooking breakfast, listening to music that inspires you can make you feel more ready to engage with the people in your life when the day starts. Similarly, listening to your favorite music on the way home can help you decompress and feel less anxious after a long day. Conclusion. Being an alpha male takes some getting used to. This is a learned way of life. Nobody is born with it. Pain, discomfort, and difficulty are necessary, but I can assure you that it's worthwhile. It is impossible to describe the joy you will have after overcoming your inner nice guy and creating a life according to your standards. You will approach life with increased vigor, enthusiasm, and energy daily. You'll gain courage, resiliency, and strength. Your life will get better in every way. However, being an alpha male has everything to do with how you see yourself and nothing to do with how other people see you. You won't ever develop into an alpha male if you lack confidence, aren't pursuing your own goals, and aren't seeking guidance from the inside. Because it's easier, beta males follow the crowd and go with the flow. They are reluctant to upset the status quo because vice has clouded their judgment. And alpha male pursues expansion despite the discomfort. They don't do it to gain something in return. They do it to improve the lives of those around them. taking charge of your life and living it fully are essential to becoming an alpha male. Introduction. You are acquainted with the individual. They are charming and radiant in every interaction, easy to converse with, and effortlessly extend an invitation to everyone. Even in the most unpleasant circumstances, this person never seems to be at a loss for words or to feel uncomfortable. Their entire being appears to be enveloped in an ethereal, angelic glow. The expression, light up a room, was coined to describe them. They possess grace, spirit, and the capacity to pique the interest of even the most reclusive among us after a brief conversation. They are endearing, motivational, and oversized in many ways. Everyone has witnessed the charismatic speaker who commands attention, elicits tears and laughter, and leaves the audience feeling challenged, motivated, and inspired. Even though they might be authorities in their domains, knowledge alone cannot account for the admiration others feel for them. These influential people possess a desirable trait called charisma. Some people seem to have it from birth. Can charisma, however, be taught? Can likability be improved with deliberate practice? Some individuals simply have it. They are energizing to be around because of the way they communicate with others. They possess charisma, as it is often called. This is important since charisma increases one's chances of succeeding in life. People with charismatic personalities can influence others to take them seriously and act on what they say. Social scientists have been attracted by charisma for decades due to its significance. The good news is that charisma is no longer considered an enigmatic talent only a select few possess. Nowadays, we are aware that anyone may develop it. The study supports the idea that particular behaviors create charisma. So let's look at some practical ways you may boost your charisma and improve your networking abilities. Understanding charisma and its impact. Some people can lure people to them the way a lamp draws moths. John F. Kennedy and Winston Churchill shared that magnetism. Obama has demonstrated it. Its identification is simpler than its explanation. What is it? The word charisma comes from Greek and means divine favor, since genuine charisma might appear to be a divine gift. The German sociologist Max Weber defined charisma as a certain quality of an individual personality by which one is different from ordinary individuals and treated as endowed with superhuman, supernatural, or at least specifically special powers or qualities that are regarded as exemplary or divine in origin. Charisma is more important than ever when brands and individuals have a significant cultural impact. Large and small businesses alike understand that success starts personally, and they also understand the value of charismatic leaders because they can engage others in meaningful, priceless interactions. They also know that a leader with charisma and practical skills can be quite effective. The power of charisma. People that are charismatic close more businesses and earn more respect. A leader with charisma can enchant, persuade, and enthrall people just by the strength of their personality. As earlier said, charisma derives from the ancient Greek meaning divine power. Charismatic leadership aims to captivate a crowd and win them over. A charismatic leader typically possesses strong communication skills, a charming demeanor, and a natural ability to persuade others of their points of view. Consider how difficult it would be to do anything significant in life. If more people support you, staying on Earth will be easier and more effective. People eager to assist you in your endeavors and believe in what you stand for are drawn to you like a magnet by your charisma. It's a crucial character attribute and a basic life skill since it allows you to get what you want out of circumstances while still being the nice guy. Another benefit of charisma is that it facilitates the growth of long-lasting connections since charismatic individuals are perceived as understanding others. This makes them delighted to collaborate and help you as much as possible. When was the last time someone respected and understood you? It's a rare encounter if you're like the majority of people. However, because of your charisma, these individuals can support you and rally others to do the same. You can see how creating positive self-esteem for others feeds back on you in a positive cycle. Another benefit is that happier relationships make us happier people overall. We'll talk more about how to do this in a bit, but when we embrace our individuality and learn to feel at ease in various settings, we're more likely to reach our full potential and project confidence no matter where we are. By putting more emphasis on the connections we can forge with others than on the distance between us and them, we will be able to take advantage of the chances that present themselves. What it means to be charismatic. Charisma is the ability to draw people to you, captivate them, and exert influence over them. Usually, it is easy to tell when someone is charismatic. However, it is often much more difficult to pinpoint precisely what abilities or traits those individuals possess that other, less charismatic individuals do not. There are numerous different varieties of charismatic people, which further complicates matters. Some people might be more reserved, possibly relying more on their charm than their words to persuade others. Some people communicate with passion and energy, enthralling everyone in their path. We've all encountered individuals who radiate confidence, have a way of capturing others' attention, and speak clearly and enthusiastically. They are the ones who can influence others, entice people to follow them, and effectively guide them. In the modern world, charisma is a strong quality that can significantly impact your life. Some people have charisma that comes naturally, but most can learn to become more charismatic. To leave your mark on the world, you must possess these 7 characteristics of highly captivating people. Number 1, they express themselves clearly. Forging relationships and building rapport with people, effective communication is essential. Charismatic people are liked because they are easy to understand. They are clear about what they want to communicate, use appropriate word choices, and speak simply so that everyone can comprehend what they are trying to convey. Clear communication prevents gaps, misunderstandings, and disputes and increases receptivity to your concept and point of view. It also significantly develops interpersonal relationships, deeper connections, and trust. Speaking clearly and firmly is merely one aspect of the situation. Because they have excellent speaking and listening abilities, charismatic individuals are likable and have a sizable following. They respect other people's viewpoints and demonstrate this by allowing them an equal opportunity to express themselves. People admire charismatic people more when they listen patiently to what they offer. Number 2, they are convincing. People with charismatic personalities are captivating. They are skilled in persuading people to pay attention to their ideas, perceive things from their perspective, and accept the validity of their justifications and arguments. As a result, they can persuade others to share their viewpoints and draw them closer to them. Because of their critical, persuasive skills, charismatic people are adept at presenting information, persuading others to support their plans and ideas, and are consequently skilled at negotiating contracts. Develop your persuasive abilities if you want to be a charismatic person, and convince others to support your thoughts and suggestions. This will allow you to win their support and influence them to fulfill your wishes. Number 3, they exude confidence. People are drawn to you and find you intriguing when you exhibit confidence. They are more likely to pay attention to you and follow your instructions. Charismatic people have high self-awareness and a strong sense of self. They experience self-assurance as a result, which is viewed externally as confidence. With self-confidence, you feel in charge of your life and are more willing to take initiative and make decisions. It also empowers you to overcome obstacles and deal with challenging and unforeseen circumstances. People with charismatic personalities make an impact that sticks with others, who continue to be in awe of them because they come off as assured, powerful, and upbeat. Number 4, they are capable of fixing issues. People with charismatic personalities are reliable and trustworthy because they have strong problem-solving abilities. Everybody encounters issues and challenges. Many people find it difficult to settle on a course of action while confronting problems, making judgments, and selecting choices. They experience a sense of being stranded because they cannot see a way out. When faced with obstacles and problems, those with charismatic personalities don't freak out or make a big deal out of it. They are aware that issues arise in life, so they acknowledge them, remain composed, and maintain their ground. They can identify the ideal answer to the issue by fastly reviewing the possibilities after brainstorming. Number 5. They have empathetic intelligence. People with charisma are adept at controlling their feelings. They can effectively manage their impulsive behavior, understand their sentiments, and use their feelings and emotions to take the right actions at the right moment. People with charismatic personalities are also adept at reading the moods and emotions of others. They can therefore address their problems and worries since they have a better level of empathy. This promotes collaboration, better connections, and deeper associations. Therefore, emotional intelligence is essential for success in all spheres of life. So increase your emotional intelligence if you want to become charismatic. Number 6. They are enthusiastic. Charismatic people stand out due to their positive outlook and energy. They are proactive, always prepared to start new tasks, handle problems as they arise, organize work, and settle disagreements. Charismatic people tend to be enthusiastic and passionate about what they do, which enables them to appreciate what they do and stay in the present. Charismatic individuals' high levels of energy and zest for life motivate those around them to work hard, advance quickly, and bravely meet problems that come their way. So if you want to inspire those around you and develop an irresistible charm, become intensely passionate about what you do. Take an interest in your work and show enthusiasm for it. Number 7. They are completely present. Everyone desires a sense of importance and for others to offer them their full attention. Charismatic individuals know this basic human need and go out of their way to give the person in front of them their full attention. They are adorable and make a great first impression due to their friendliness and engagement, but they also gain the respect and admiration of others by doing so. A charming personality shows real interest in the dialogue and positive body language, like nodding and making supportive gestures. This reassures the other person that they are being understood and validated. Unleashing your inner charisma. You probably heard the saying, "Thoughts become things." But what does that mean? When we engage with others, our behavior and energy are the product of our brain's different steps as they take in, filter, and digest information. Therefore, if we spend our time immersed in violence, upsetting TV, depressed over politics, and socioeconomic problems, and watching the news from war-torn nations, it will fill our thoughts and influence our behavior. Like vampires at a Halloween party, if we spend time with pessimistic, glass-half-empty individuals, they will feast on our natural energy and leave us lifeless and exhausted. We will then drain the energy of the people we interact with. We feel and look good and radiate radiant energy when we are motivated, joyful in flow and working on what we love. This invites visitors to us who enjoy being in our space. One of the foundations of genuine charisma is self-esteem. We can only genuinely shine as the people we were meant to be when we fully value who we are and the special skills we offer. Some individuals mistakenly believe that making time for oneself each day is selfish. Nonetheless, this is a must. We instinctively communicate that we are important enough to make time to become our best selves when we care for ourselves. The fact that it has significantly impacted my life, business, connections, and friendships makes this a bit of a soapbox topic for me. So instead of writing yet another list of top tips, here are some of the things that have worked best for me. Build self-confidence. You may do a lot of things to increase your confidence. Some only require minor mental adjustments, while others require more effort and time to become ingrained habits. Take a look at your prior accomplishments. It's simple to lose confidence if you haven't accomplished anything. List all of your proud accomplishments, such as learning how to surf or passing an exam. Whenever you do anything you are happy about, add it to the list and keep it handy. Look at the list whenever you're feeling down and use it to remind yourself of all the great things you've accomplished. Consider what you're good at. Everyone has skills and strengths. What is yours? You can increase your self-confidence by identifying and attempting to improve your strengths. Set some goals. Define your goals and the steps you must take to attain them. They don't have to be lofty goals. They could even be as simple as baking a cake or organizing a night out with friends. Just concentrate on a few minor accomplishments you can erase from your list to boost your confidence in completing tasks. Encourage yourself. You will never feel confident if you constantly hear doubtful thoughts telling you you are unworthy. Consider how you talk to yourself and how it can hurt your confidence. Encourage and treat yourself as you would your best friend. Find a hobby. Try to discover a cause for which you have a strong passion, be it sports, knitting, photography, or anything else. Decide to try it once you've identified your interest. You'll probably be more driven and develop your skills quickly if you're interested in or passionate about a particular activity. Be true to yourself. Thinking and acting per your ideals and feelings rather than those of others means being loyal to yourself. If you're being true to yourself, feeling secure in who you are, and working towards things you will know will make you happy. It's a common misconception that being true to yourself entails being self-centered or resisting change, but that is not how the advice is intended to be taken. Being true to yourself entails using your finest qualities to achieve lasting satisfaction instead of momentarily fulfillment. Checking in with yourself often to realign your goals and allowing yourself to make mistakes along the way. Here are some pointers on how to stay true to yourself, whether you're still seeking it or looking for ways to defend it. Be honest with oneself. Be sincere. Realize your true self. Start looking for yourself if you do not yet know who you are. Keep yourself close by finding who you are. Hold fast and be loyal to yourself when many people are trying to influence you away from the course you are destined to take. Know yourself. Environmental awareness. Know your emotions and how to communicate them healthfully and truthfully. Be rooted in a world filled with conceit, selfishness, and fame-seeking. Think about good interests and causes. Learn to say no. To best serve your interests, learn to say no. The capacity to say no can be such a challenge for so many of us. Saying no is an important life lesson. Don't be afraid to speak up for what you want in life. Say no to whatever you desire. But also say yes to things. You can stay true to yourself by doing this. Discover your tribe. Make some nice friends and value them. Your friends ought to be there to help you stay grounded and live your best life. Your friends will help you remain truthful and self-aware. Stop trying to appease people. Enjoy yourselves. Humans have a strong innate desire to win over others. Humans often look to their fellow animals to validate their behavior or way of life. Don't look for other people's approval. Live for yourself and pursue your soul's desires. Do you. Do what you know is best for you. Defy social pressure and act in your own best interests. Knowing what to trust in light of society's and the media's constant barrage might be challenging. Believe in your intuition. Trust the gut instinct you're experiencing. You may use your intuition to make wise judgments because it is a natural emotion, in addition to maintaining your integrity and honesty. If you are self-aware, you are the only one who truly knows you, so trusting your intuition is essential to achieving your goals in life. This life might be difficult to navigate at times. Belief in oneself. You understand what to do. Let go of anything that does not improve your life. Let go of the emotional baggage to be authentic to yourself. Let go of anything that isn't benefiting your life any longer. Recognize that you are human and will make mistakes. Recognize the lessons, then proceed. Although it's never fun to admit you're wrong, we must learn to accept that we all make mistakes. The way we grow from our mistakes is what makes us human. Life's mistakes are lessons. Take note of them, then move on. Be honest and expressive. Keep an open mind and be willing to learn new ideas, but don't compromise who you are or what you believe. Learn to communicate your feelings effectively as yet another life tip. Develop positive mindset. As you are already aware, the brain is the organ of the mind. The center of all types of thinking is, therefore, the mind. The mind has the peculiar inclination to take in everything that enters its way, whether good or bad, if it is not properly restrained. As I previously stated, all of our thinking, silly and clever, insane and sane, shallow and deep, comes from the mind, and we completely base our judgments on it. Positive and negative thinking are incompatible. You can only have one or the other. It seems that thinking positively often results in wise decisions and thinking negatively usually results in poor decisions. Because of this, you must have an optimistic outlook to create the conditions for making deft and sensible choices. Therefore, the following 6 methods can help you get your mind to travel in a pleasant, thoughtful route. Be mindful of your thoughts. Positive or negative thoughts often emerge from your subconscious and find their way into the present, influencing your decision-making. Things that you perform unconsciously are automated. Most of the time, you are probably unaware of it. Any thought can enter your mind, but what matters most is your capacity to be present and conscious of it. Consider the things you're contemplating. Simply said, this means to be aware of your thoughts. It will be much easier to separate the bad from the good once you become conscious of your thoughts. Make positive thoughts a habit by learning to mute your negative thoughts consistently. This is crucial because negative thoughts can eventually destroy you, but positive thoughts will make you feel good about yourself and give you confidence. One unfortunate aspect of this is that negative thoughts always seep through and into you regardless of how upbeat you may be. Nevertheless, whether you realize it or not, you can regulate your thoughts and prevent them from running amok and wrecking your life. Be a versatile thinker. Simply said, versatile thinking means adapting and adjusting to a new and different thought. In other words, it demonstrates your readiness to consistently update your thinking for ongoing mental progress. Being open to new ideas might help you identify the ones that won't benefit the world. Your ability to think flexibly can aid in your journey towards self-realization. You are fully aware of whether any new thoughts are worthwhile to consider and how they significantly impact your personality and overall well-being as a being. Some thoughts in your head damage your thinking and can eventually cause you to think negatively. You might not see those thoughts as negative if you have a fixed and unbending way of thinking. You are prone to rejecting new thoughts and methods because you believe you already possess the right way of thinking. This is the height of self-deception. Your rigidity will always make distinguishing between correct and incorrect thinking impossible because its only goal is to prevent change. But thinking flexibly will help you avoid this absurd and foolish act of rigidity and also enable you to develop positive thinking. Examine your principles and outlook. Your beliefs influence your thoughts, which in turn influence your words, which influence your actions, which influence your habits, which influence your values, which influence your destiny. Therefore, changing your thinking requires you to reflect on and analyze your beliefs and what you consider valuable. You can't genuinely live a life of constant positive thinking without looking deep inside yourself to find and discard unworthy beliefs and ideals because your internal flaws will undoubtedly influence your thinking. What is inside us is much more important than what is in front of us or behind us. Elements like good values and strong belief systems can influence positive thinking. Being truthful with oneself would make recognizing those unworthy ideals and beliefs easier. In essence, you should try to destroy them to make room for new and improved ones. Read books that will improve your intellect. Reading is one of the best methods to learn and have a good outlook. Read as much as you can because learning never tires the mind. Reading quality literature expands your thinking and lets you see things beyond the obvious. A book is like a seed. They can slumber for centuries before blooming in the least favorable soil. Pick a book to expand your thinking, and read it carefully. Don't worry about how the entire growth process will play out. It will happen eventually and unexpectedly. Through regular reading, one can cultivate a positive outlook while also learning new things. Even the most learned intellect has something to discover. You can learn many things by reading a book that will change how you see the world. Reading widely opens your mind to new ideas and possibilities, which causes your perception to develop into optimism. Choose the right company. The people you surround yourself with can influence your views and actions. You tend to gradually adopt a positive mindset when you're in the right group, where you guys continually build and encourage rather than ridiculing and discouraging each other because the individuals around you are so upbeat and consistently use the appropriate language. True statements advance your thinking. On the other hand, if you move with the wrong company, one with pessimism ingrained in its members, you can find yourself thinking similarly to them since you unconsciously believe and pay attention to what they say. It's awful that they were successful in transferring, or should I say, sharing their brains with yours. Learn to always move with the proper group of individuals since they will always see the wider and better picture, regardless of how things may appear. They'll always find a way to think positively, which is advantageous. This group shouldn't be let loose since they are always ready to rekindle your light with their inner fire whenever it feels dim and gloomy. Don't let your feelings define you. Your emotions often drive most of your responses, thoughts, actions, behavior, and even how you see others. It happens to be where most individuals look for direction and guidance. But just so you're aware, your feelings aren't always accurate. All the more reason why you shouldn't allow your emotions to skew your judgment. Don't let your feelings dictate how your life will turn out. This will just cause chaos. Emotions are transient states of being. They never last indefinitely. Additionally, negativity will always enter if you are drawn to continually wanting to combine your thoughts and feelings because our feelings are usually devoid of any real value. As a result, it's crucial that you take control of your emotions and never, ever let them take the lead. Controlled emotions are often the source of and a catalyst for positive thinking. To sum up, your mentality will always be as it is unless you're prepared to change, and I think you want to switch to a positive frame of mind rather than a negative one. You must acknowledge and start acting on these positives in your life. Mastering the art of small talk. A mistake would be to view small talk as being meaningless. Developing this skill can help you in both your personal and professional lives. Therefore, study this chapter to learn everything there is to know about the little used but unquestionably crucial small talk. You arrive somewhere new and scan the area for familiar faces. However, you soon learn that there are none. As a result, try avoiding everything and wishing for a covert escape. You might avoid engaging in conversation by loitering about the table or frequently entering and exiting the bathroom. However, experts claim that the small talk chat is not worthless. By becoming an expert at small talk, you can avoid encountering uncomfortable social situations, small events, or other situations where you are a stranger. Developing your small talk skills is a simple method to interact with others. It involves continuing, establishing, and concluding conversations with friends or strangers. Small talk meaning. Small talk is an approach to starting a conversation. Making small talk is a means to get in touch and establish connections with others and long-lasting relationships with friends, business partners, coworkers, and others. You can craft the sentences you want to use in small talk, and you'll soon discover that it's a good method to grow and widen your network. The weather, movies, culture, books, news headlines, careers, and more are timeless small talk topics. The importance of small talk. Just try to remember, how did you make a strange connection feel comfortable? Small talk may be the solution. Positively making use of small talk can make life smoother and more success-oriented. You can never predict who you'll run into next. These conversations enable you to create an excellent framework for communicating with everybody you meet. Additionally, it gives you enough room to show your ideas nicely. In addition to this, the following points also emphasize the significance of small talk. It makes you smarter. According to specialists, these discussions improve a person's capacity for problem solving. Few social situations can persuade someone to think differently and approach a subject from a new angle or with a different answer. It is spontaneous. The nicest thing about these discussions is that you never know where they will go. It's also great that there is no risk involved in participating. Sometimes the outcomes of these discussions are so fruitful that they lead to amicable interactions or even the signing of a commercial contract. It makes you more aware. These discussions unquestionably make you aware of the present. As a result, you start to pay attention to everything around you and become more alert. Even if your communication options may be restricted to a smartphone, this learning method from otherwise minds can be quite helpful. It can make you more popular. If you want to influence others and make new acquaintances, it's imperative that they all like you. People enjoy conversing with others who are generous and self-assured. You must remember that small talk is more than just a means of amusement and information exchange. Additionally, it is a considerate show of respect that most people value. As a result, you feel better about who you are. Maybe your personality isn't the best, yet everyone has certain unique qualities that set them apart. While you might not even be aware of the special abilities that set you apart from others, you do have them, and they can help you communicate those abilities to others. Everyone inevitably needs it. Small talk is crucial since practically everyone needs it. Whether you are pursuing a new career, wanting to spend some time with your coworkers, signing a binding business contract, or simply entertaining friends, these situations necessitate the skill to make small talk. According to experts, your pitch is crucial for your business to succeed. Even brief, harmless conversations with the clients are crucial. Companies consistently seek someone who can think outside the box. Small talk tips can help you. Overcoming social anxiety, starting conversations. It can be stressful to converse with strangers. We may naturally desire to make friends since we are social beings, and we may also want other people to like us. But for so many of us, making these friends can be challenging, especially if you experience mild to severe social anxiety symptoms. Despite your anxiety, follow these tips on how to make friends and have significant social ties. Take the initiative. It cannot be easy to approach someone, but you might find the conversation easier than anticipated once you are there. According to research, repetition and practice are crucial components of a successful conversation confidence building plan. Try making a confident first impression by walking up to someone with your head held high and your back straight. Start the discussion with a simple topic. Not every conversation must get off on a serious note to become significant. To initiate a conversation, try doing so with a simple statement. Consider the following scenario. You are at a party and spot a person you want to talk to. Try opening with something simple like, "What are you drinking tonight?" Or, "How do you know the host?" rather than approaching them and instantly sharing your entire story. These simple conversation starters are enough to start things and may inevitably lead to deeper discussions later. Maintain your interest and attention. If others sense you are not engaged in the conversation, they will quickly become irritated. Pay close attention to what they are saying and pay close attention to them. The conversation will flow more smoothly if you pay attention since related stories and follow-up questions will inevitably arise. Additionally, show them throughout the talk that you are still paying attention. When they are speaking, for instance, nodding your head and maintaining eye contact are often sufficient to let them know that you are still interested in paying attention. Avoid using your phone. When you're socializing, social anxiety may cause you to hide or rely on a crutch, like avoiding eye contact or using your phone. But these behaviors can be offensive to someone unaware that you are experiencing anxiety, which increases the risk of a bad experience or self-fulfilling prophecy. It can be helpful to develop positive social experiences that you can call on in the future to conquer social anxiety. Keep the dialogue balanced. When conversing with a new individual, Talking too much or too little can be easy. However, you might not want either side of the conversation to feel like they are in an interview. According to studies, conversations work best when both parties feel heard, and the conversation is fair. Strive to balance asking about their life and sharing personal stories. Know when to end a conversation. Eventually, every conversation might reach its conclusion. Pay attention so you can tell when this has occurred. Watch for signs that the other person wants to end the relationship. Are there no more topics to discuss? Is the person you're talking to trying to go quietly? Pay attention to these indicators and act accordingly. You don't want to put somebody under pressure inadvertently. Don't hold a conversation you aren't interested in. You shouldn't feel pressured to continue a conversation you aren't interested in or feel bad if you have to leave one. If the conversation chemistry isn't there, going on is acceptable. Be ready to change topics depending on who you are speaking to. A talk may last for several minutes on some topics while only lasting a few minutes on others. When conversing with someone, pay attention to their interests and be ready to switch to those topics when the present one loses its attractiveness. This will probably lead to a longer conversation and demonstrate to the other person that you are paying attention and are interested. Never pretend to be someone or something you are not. It could make sense to act a certain way to impress someone, but doing so can lead to problems in the future. Be sincere when you speak to someone. Inform them if there is something you don't like. Tell them if you can relate to anything they said. You risk accidentally preventing a true connection with someone if you strive to be someone else. Tips for active listening and genuine interest. Everyone has experienced this. You're discussing with someone when suddenly you find yourself at a loss for words. You avoid making eye contact, glancing up at the ceiling, or smiling awkwardly. Whatever it takes to break the awkward silence. There is always a chance for dead air, whether you're conversing with someone you've just met or going on a date with your long-term partner. So, how can you maintain a lively conversation? We can offer advice. Here are 7 strategies to maintain a lively and fluid conversation. Number 1, pay attention. If you aren't paying attention to what the other person is saying, you can't respond to them or interact with them. What are they interested in talking about? A one-way conversation in your favor won't work. What do they contribute to the discussion that you could elaborate on? When you actively listen, you don't plan your next words as the other person is speaking. The other person can see that you're paying attention to them since you seem interested and engaged in them. They'll be more likely to continue the conversation if they believe you value what they say. Number 2, pay attention to body language. Are you sitting back with your arms crossed? Or do you appear interested? Do you regularly scan your phone or your surroundings? Whether on purpose or not, acting indifferent is a major conversation killer. Focusing on something other than the person speaking conveys that you would rather be somewhere else than with them. Number 3, take part in small talk. It turns out that small talk isn't as embarrassing as everyone believes it to be. You must start small before truly opening yourself and feeling at ease with someone. Feel free to discuss the news, your favorite music, or the most recent movie you watched. Those brief exchanges will eventually pave the way for longer, more in-depth discussions. Also, if you reveal personal information about your life too quickly, the other person might not be ready. Number 4, ask open-ended questions. The conversation may stagnate if you or the other person asks many yes or no questions. Asking open-ended questions is the best course of action. Try, what type of music are you into, instead of, do you like concerts? Then you can ask them about their most recent concert, favorite performance, and the artist they plan to see. Consider it as having a ripple effect. Any questions you ask should aim to elaborate on the initial question. A question like, do you like cats, or do you enjoy watching crime documentaries, is a surefire technique to finish your conversation at a dead end. Number 5, let your guard down to a certain extent. What would happen if we just ceased filtering out our thoughts throughout a discussion to avoid saying something weird or uncool? Speak to someone you feel comfortable speaking your thoughts to, as this is the greatest approach to test it out. Tell them about that bizarre dream you had, that embarrassing incident from 5th grade, or your hidden preference for pineapple on pizza without holding back. The conversation advances more quickly the more honest you are. Number 6, tell interesting stories, even if they don't concern you. Use a variety of stories. You might choose a touching story from the news, a joke about a famous person, or your sibling's most recent success, of which you are incredibly proud. It's an opportunity to learn more about one another's personality and what makes you find each other interesting, humorous, sad, etc. Despite this, you should still avoid gossip, especially if you don't know each other well. It can undoubtedly annoy someone. Share relatable, interesting stories to get both of you thinking and talking. Number 7, give a "tell me more" response. In case of uncertainty, tell them to continue. Here's where attentive listening is useful. Ask them to elaborate if you're interested in what they have to say. Ask them what their expertise was if, for instance, they remark briefly that they participated in the 7th grade talent show. Manifest a sincere interest in their story. It demonstrates that you are paying attention and offers them the assurance and comfort they require to converse. Not everyone makes for good conversation. Take a break. Learning the art of conversation takes time and practice. If you sense the conversation is dragging, remain composed, take a deep breath, and be genuine. No one is to blame for an awkward, silent talk, which does not indicate how the other person feels about you. The advice above is for when two people need a vocal boost. Keep it lighthearted, enjoyable, genuine, and most importantly, sincere. You can't fail when you let the true you direct what you have to say. Nonverbal communication and body language. The vast bulk of what we discover about human behavior is nonverbal. It is communicated through nonverbal cues. Understanding and employing this effective yet subtle communication can help you navigate tricky political circumstances and shape interpersonal connections. Additionally, it will make dealing with challenging individuals easier. In addition to what is said, nonverbal communication uses a variety of channels to express meaning. These include hand gestures, body language, facial expressions, vocal inflection, and pitch. People's eyes are a major source of nonverbal communication for us. This explains why determining the meaning of a phone call or written words is often difficult. Learning to read body language can substantially enhance your relationships and understanding of others because it is a natural component of our communication toolkit. However, it is an art that should be approached with some caution. Misinterpretation can have horrifying repercussions, especially in a highly politicized workplace. Understanding nonverbal cues. You must keep learning to read nonverbal cues like body language throughout your career. Although everyone employs nonverbal communication uniquely, there are a few universal signs to watch for that will reveal a person's sentiments, intentions, and motivations. Focusing on the verbal and nonverbal cues a person uses when talking with them might be useful. Here are several indicators you might notice. Facial expressions. An incredibly large number of nonverbal communications are carried out through facial expressions. Think about how much information a grin or a frown can say. Often, before we hear what someone has to say, the first thing we notice about them is how they look. Even while nonverbal behavior and communication might differ significantly between cultures, happiness, sadness, anger, and fear-related facial emotions are universal. Gestures. Without words, deliberate gestures and signals are crucial for conveying meaning. Waving, pointing, and making the thumbs up sign are common gestures. Other hand gestures are arbitrary and culturally specific. For instance, in the United States, making the shape of a V with your index and middle fingers while holding your palm outward is often interpreted as a victory or peace sign. Nevertheless, this gesture may be viewed as offensive in Britain, Australia, and other countries. Given how effectively they can impact juror perceptions, Nonverbal communication through gestures is so powerful and influential that some judges set restrictions on which ones are permitted in the courtroom. An attorney can indicate that the other lawyer's case is tiresome by quickly peering at their watch, or they can roll their eyes while a witness testifies to discredit that individual. Paralinguistics. Paralinguistics is vocal communication that is different from spoken language. This type of nonverbal communication involves volume, intonation, pitch, and tone of voice. Take voice tone as an illustration of its significant impact on a sentence's meaning. Strong vocal tones can cause a comment to sound approved and enthusiastic to listeners. The same words can express contempt and lack of interest when used cautiously. Posture and body language. Additionally, movement and posture can provide a lot of information. Since the 1970s, there has been a substantial increase in body language research due to the popular media's emphasis on the incorrect interpretation of protective postures such as arm and leg crossing. Although these nonverbal cues can express emotions and attitudes, body language is often nuanced and less certain than once thought. Proxemics. Proxemics is another effective form of nonverbal communication that people often use to express their need for personal space. We perceive some of the space around us as belonging to us and some of it as being necessary. Social practices, cultural norms, surrounding factors, personality characteristics, and level of familiarity are just a few. When conversing casually with someone, anywhere between 18 inches and 4 feet of personal space is required. When speaking to a large group of people, an emotional distance of between 10 and 12 feet is typically required. Eyes fixed. Nonverbal communication involves the eyes. Crucial indicators include glancing, staring, and blinking. For instance, your blinking rate and pupil size increase when you come across individuals or things you appreciate. Eyes can convey various feelings, such as hatred, intrigue, and attraction. Additionally, eye contact cues are often used to determine someone's sincerity. Regular steady eye contact is often interpreted as indicating integrity and reliability. On the other hand, unsteady eyes and the inability to maintain eye contact are commonly seen as signs of dishonesty or deception. However, some studies contend that eye contact is not a reliable indicator of lying behavior. Haptics. Touch-based communication is an essential nonverbal communication technique. Touch can convey affection, familiarity, pity, and other feelings. Additionally, status and power are often communicated through touch. Individuals with high rank tend to enter the personal space of others more often and intensely than individuals with lesser status. Variations in how people use touch to convey messages based on gender also play a part. Women often use touch to express care, nurturing, and concern. On the contrary, men are more likely than women to use physical touch to exert influence or control over others. Appearance. Nonverbal communication is also thought to occur through our choices in hairdo, dress, and other physical characteristics. According to color psychology studies, various emotions can be evoked by various emotions. Physiological responses, assessments, and interpretations can all be influenced by appearance. Just think about all the snap judgments you make about individuals based purely on how they appear. Experts urge job searchers to dress professionally for interviews with potential employers since first impressions count. According to research, a person's attractiveness can influence their earnings. Good-looking people typically have higher incomes and other perks, such as better jobs. Culture has a big impact on how people evaluate looks. In contrast to Western society, which often values thinness, some African cultures value fuller figures as indicators of superior social standing, prosperity, and health. Artifacts. Other means of nonverbal communication involve objects and imagery. For instance, you might choose an avatar in an online forum to represent your identity and convey details about who you are and what you like. People often invest a lot of effort in surrounding themselves with items that symbolize important things and creating an image for themselves. For example, uniforms can be used to send much personal information. A doctor will dress in a white lab coat, a military in fatigues, and a policeman in a certain gear. These outfits make it obvious to onlookers what that person does for a living. They are consequently good at nonverbal communication. Enhancing your body language. How to use body language is not specifically advised. What you do could be viewed differently depending on the situation and the person you are speaking to. You should probably use different body language when speaking to your employer versus a boy or a girl you're interested in. These are some typical perceptions of body language and often better methods to express yourself through your body. To change your body language, you must first be aware of it. Keep an eye on your posture, how you use your hands and legs, and what you do while speaking to someone. Consider practicing in front of a mirror. Yes, it may appear silly, but nobody is looking. This will provide useful feedback on how others perceive you and allow you to practice a little before venturing into the real world. Another suggestion is to close your eyes and picture how you would stand and sit to feel assured, open, and calm, or to communicate whatever you want. See how you would move if you were that person. Then give it a go. You may also want to pay attention to your friends, role models, celebrities, or people you believe to have good body language. Watch what they do and what they don't. Take parts of different people that you like. Use what you can from them if you can. Some of these suggestions can give the impression that you are acting. However, faking it until you make it might be a beneficial learning strategy. Remember that emotions sometimes operate in reverse. You'll feel happy if you grin a little more. You will feel more energized and in control if you sit up straight. You'll feel more at ease if you move more slowly. Your emotions will support your new activities and you'll experience less weirdness. It's easy to overdo your body language at first. You might always sit up straight or with crossed legs almost absurdly wide apart. It's all right. People aren't looking as much as you might believe. Instead, they are preoccupied with their problems. To discover a balanced position that feels good, just experiment a little. Number 1. Avoid crossing your legs or arms. You've probably previously heard that crossing your arms can give the impression that you're being defensive or guarded. This also applies to your legs. Keep your legs and arms extended. Number 2. Make eye contact, yet avoid zoning out. Give everyone you are speaking to some eye contact to improve connection and check to see whether they are listening, especially if you are speaking to a group of people. Too much eye contact could frighten people. Avoiding eye contact could give off an edgy vibe. If you're not used to maintaining eye contact, it could seem awkward or frightening at first, but if you practice, you'll become used to it. Number 3, be willing to occupy some space. Taking up space, such as sitting or standing with your legs slightly apart, conveys self-confidence and a sense of security in your skin. Number 4, let your shoulders drop. Your shoulders might easily become stiff when you're feeling stressed. They may advance a little bit up and forward. Try to relax. Shake your shoulders and move them back a little to try to relax. Number 5, nod when they are speaking. Occasionally nod to show that you are paying attention. Don't go overboard, though, and peck like Woody. Number 6, sit up straight and avoid slouching. But not in a stressful manner, just in a calm way. Number 7, don't lean too much. Leaning toward the person speaking will convey your attention to what they are saying. Lean back a little to convey that you are at ease and self-confident. But be careful not to infringe too much, or you can appear desperate and needy. Or, if you lean back too far, you could come off as arrogant and remote. Number 8, laugh out loud. Relax and stop taking yourself so seriously. Unwind a little. Grunt and chuckle at amusing things others say. People will be much more receptive to what you say if you come across as positive. However, refrain from laughing first at your jokes. Doing so makes you come out as unsure and needy. When meeting new people, make eye contact and smile. If you don't, you'll come out as insincere. Number 9, avoid touching your face. The listener or other participants in the talk may become distracted by your apparent nervousness. Number 10. Keep your head up. Keep your eyes off the ground. Doing so could make you feel uneasy and disoriented. Maintain a straight posture while gazing outward. Number 11. Move more slowly. This applies to a lot of things. You'll appear more composed and certain and feel less worried when walking slowly. When someone approaches you, move your neck more gently in their direction rather than quickly. Number 12. Keep still. Additionally, try to stop, reduce, or change restless movements and nervous tics like shaking your leg or tapping your fingers quickly against the table. When you try to communicate, you'll appear anxious or tense, and squirming might be distracting. If you tend to wander, simplify your motions. Try to unwind, take it easy, and move with intention. Number 13. Make more assured use of your hands. Use your hands to convey what you are trying to express rather than fidgeting and scratching your face. Use your hands to give them more weight when describing something or trying to make a point. However, don't overuse them, or they could become annoying. Additionally, keep your hands under control and avoid flailing them around. Number 14. Sip more slowly. Holding your drink in front of your chest is improper. Avoid keeping anything in front of your heart because doing so will make you appear remote and guarded. Instead, bring it down and hold it next to your leg. Number 15. Recognize the end of your spine. It's common for people to sit or stand with a straight back when they have good posture, including myself until lately. They might, however, mistakenly believe that the neck is where the spine stops and hold themselves in the Montgomery Burns position. The back of your skull is where your spine ends. For optimal posture, keep your entire spine straight and aligned. Number 16. Avoid getting too close. One of the things we took away from Seinfeld is that everyone finds a close talker unsettling. Don't intrude on other people's private areas. Number 17. Mirror. When two people get along well and have a strong connection, they often begin to reflect each other unconsciously. This implies that you somewhat mimic the other person's body language. You can attempt some proactive mirroring to improve the connection. You might also lean forward if they do. You might do the same if she places her hands on her thighs. However, don't immediately respond and don't mimic every shift in body language. Number 18. Keep a positive outlook. Lastly, maintain a cheerful, receptive, and unhurried attitude. Your body language will convey your feelings, which can significantly impact you. You can change your body language, but it takes time to form new habits. If you have spent thousands of days looking at your feet, fixing certain habits such as keeping your head up may take some time. Additionally, modifying too many things at once might be daunting and confusing. Work on a few of these aspects of body language each day for 3 to 4 weeks. By that time, you need to have formed new routines and become accustomed to doing them. If not, continue until it does. After that, focus on a further 2 things you want to change. Reading others' body language. If you know what to look for, body language may reveal a wealth of information about what other people are thinking. And who hasn't yearned to be able to read people's minds? More body language indicators are already picked up on than you know. According to UCLA research, only 7% of communication is based on the words we use. The remaining 38% is determined by voice tonality, while the remaining 55% is determined by body language. Recognizing and understanding that 55% will offer you an advantage while interacting with others. Anything that can provide you an advantage is powerful and will speed up your path to success when you're working hard and doing everything you can to reach your goals. Watch for these indicators the next time you're in a meeting, or even out on a date or playing with your kids. Crossed arms and legs indicate opposition to your suggestions. Physical obstacles like crossed arms and legs indicate the listener is not receptive to your message. Even when they are grinning and conversing in a friendly manner, their body language conveys a lot. Crossed legs or arms psychologically indicate that a person is physically, mentally, and emotionally cut off from what is in front of them. It is so revealing because it is not deliberate. Eyes crinkle with genuine smiles. The mouth can deceive, but the eyes can't when smiling. Sincere grins reach the eyes, causing the skin around them to wrinkle and form crow's feet. The next time you want to determine whether someone is truly smiling, look for crinkles in the corner of their eyes. People often smile to conceal what they're thinking and feeling. If they aren't there, something is concealed by that smile. It's wise to have people mimic your body language. Have you ever observed someone doing the same thing whenever you cross or uncross your legs during a meeting? Or when they listen to you speak, they lean their heads in the same direction? That is encouraging. When we experience a connection with another individual, we automatically mirror their body language. It indicates that the exchange is going well and that the other person is listening to your words. Knowing what the other party is truly thinking about the transaction can be very helpful while negotiating. Posture conveys meaning. Have you ever seen someone enter a room and recognize they were in command before they even spoke? Body language plays a significant role in creating that effect and often involves an upright posture, movements made with palms down, and wide and expansive gestures in general. The brain is programmed to connect strength with how much room people occupy. A powerful position is to stand up straight with your shoulders back since it seems to enhance the amount of space you occupy. Conversely, slouching causes your form to collapse. It gives the impression of taking up less room and projecting less force. Whether or not you are a leader, maintaining a decent posture commands respect and encourages engagement. Lies telling eyes. Look me in the eye when you talk to me is probably something most of us heard growing up. In some ways, our parents were correct when they said it's difficult to keep someone's attention while you lie to them. But because everyone knows that, many people purposefully maintain eye contact to conceal their deception. The issue is that most of them overcompensate by keeping uncomfortable eye contact. Americans often maintain eye contact for 7 to 10 seconds, which is longer when listening than when speaking. Someone may lie to you if their gaze causes you to cringe while speaking, especially if they are completely steady and unblinking. High brows indicate pain. Your eyebrows will most likely rise when you are surprised, worried, or afraid. Try lifting your eyebrows when having a friendly, casual conversation with a friend. Isn't that challenging? If a conversation partner raises their eyebrows when discussing something that shouldn't logically surprise, concern, or frighten them, something else is happening. Excessive nodding reveals concern about acceptance. When you're explaining something to someone and they nod, it's a sign that they're worried about your opinion or that you don't trust them to do as you've asked. A clenched jaw indicates anxiety. Stress symptoms include clenched teeth, a stiff neck, and wrinkled brows. Regardless of what they are saying, these are uncomfortable indications. The subject of their anxiety may come up in conversation, or perhaps their attention is elsewhere, and they are concentrating on the source of their anxiety. It's important to watch for any discrepancy between what someone says and what their tense body language is trying to convey to you. The main line is that even if you cannot understand someone's exact thoughts, you can still deduce much about them based on their body language. This is particularly true when a person's words and behaviors don't match. Influencing others effectively. One of the key abilities of leaders at all levels is the capacity for persuasion. Many believe a person's charisma, intelligence, and self-confidence determine their ability to persuade others. It could appear later in life with a significant title or expanding bank account. In actuality, we all possess this skill. However, most of us miss out on using this skill because we think persuasion comes naturally. Influence-making ability does not just happen. The people we adore are guiding us using the same method that has been effective for ages. It is a skill that has been carefully developed and involves careful intention. Here are 7 essential steps to mastering persuasion if you want to develop your ability to influence. Techniques to influence people. Everything we do depends on our capacity to establish meaningful connections with others and long-lasting bonds. Without developing strong relationships, it is impossible to sell a house, buy a house, advance in most occupations, market a product, pitch a story, teach a house, etc. The finest outcomes are produced by teams when managers carefully appeal to their sensitivities rather than using force to motivate them. By employing these strategies, individuals can positively influence others and lead them toward success, excellence, and productivity, changing the world one person at a time. There's a strong chance you know someone who excels at elevating others and making a difference. The request from this specific individual sounds like music to your ears, in contrast to the demands of others, which sounds like nails on a chalkboard. You enjoy listening and following instructions. Here are some pointers on how to have a positive influence on others. Be sincere. You must be genuine if you want to influence others positively. Discover what makes you different to start having a good impact on people rather than trying to be a carbon copy of another person's concept of authenticity. Find your unique viewpoint on a subject, then live up to and respect it. Social media influencers' dominance is partly due to their ability to carve out a specific niche for themselves or to handle a well-known problem freshly or unusually. People are naturally drawn to those whose public persona and principles align. We dislike contradictions because we need stability. When someone claims to be one thing but behaves differently, it suggests they are confused or unreliable and therefore not being who they claim to be. Both of these pairings are unlikely to have a good impact on others. Pay attention. My father advised me as a child to consider what other people had to say. He advised me that if I were a good listener, I would learn everything there was to know about a person's viewpoint, character, wants, and desires. You must pay attention to what is said and what is not stated to understand how to influence others. That explains why people require certain things to feel accepted, supported, and seen. A person is less likely to be favorably influenced by someone if they believe they are invisible and unnoticed by their superiors. A person's basic desire for validation and approval is satisfied by listening to them and showing real interest in what they say. This creates positive energy. Become an authority. Most individuals tend to respect authority, if not just listen to it. Become an authority in the field where you wish to inspire people if you want to affect them positively. Do as much reading and research as possible on the topic, and then look for chances to apply what you've learned to practice. Opinions are subject to debate. Arguments about facts, on the other hand, are foolish, and experts provide facts. Start with a story. I've worked in public relations for many years, so I know how powerful personal accounts, endorsements, and impact stories can be. But the power of a well-timed and well-told story never ceases to astonish me. Learn how to tell stories if you want to persuade others. Your story should be connected to the topic or idea you are debating. They ought to be a metaphor or analogy that clarifies your subject in simple words and vivid detail. A well-told narrative can be the ideal tool for capturing someone's emotions, which will be useful as you learn how to affect others favorably. Set the bar high. Observing brilliant, driven people at work or play is immensely encouraging. Human nature values the remarkable, which is one of the reasons a non-athlete might be in awe of athletic prowess. We can see the effort of people who give their best every day when we watch competitive sports like ice skating, gymnastics, and the Olympics. Even if we don't attend the Olympics, we appreciate extraordinary achievements and think we may achieve great things by following in their footsteps. We must lead by example, with intention, and execute perfectly to influence others positively. Catch good behavior by others. Observing others exercising positive influence is a highly effective strategy. Instead of searching for issues, look for solutions. Look for actions taken by your coworkers, subordinates, and bosses that improve the quality and enjoyment of your work. These actions are sometimes unnoticed yet are vitally significant. When you witness someone doing something excellent, mention it and acknowledge it. Showing them that you care about their achievement will benefit all the personal and professional connections you hope to make. Complimenting someone is a simple way to make a difference in their lives. Offer a lot of praise. It didn't take me long to identify a noteworthy quality in a previous supervisor. Not only did he start and end sessions with praise, but he also sprinkled praise throughout the conversation. He devised a strategy highlighting his team members' special qualities and abilities. He was able to identify what people were doing well and let them and their coworkers know as soon as possible. Meetings were more than just a time to check off things on a to-do list. They were also occasions to recognize and reward successes, no matter how little they may have been. When learning how to influence others, this is crucial. This invariably has a favorable impact on those nearby. A person who feels valued will be more likely to go above and beyond with anything you ask of them, so keep that in mind. Choose kindness over right. It's easy to fall into a loop of self-promotion. Being right is crucial for people who lack self-confidence or value other people's perspectives. Being viewed as right provides validation which feeds one's ego. But in our attempts to be right, we sometimes cause harm to others and incite hatred in others. It is far more difficult to convince someone to listen to what we're trying to persuade them to do after we've hurt them by being nasty. The best way to deal with those who bully you is to put kindness above right. You can maintain your integrity while yet being kind. For instance, many people feel that they require the validation of others for their experiences. You become offended if someone does not interpret a scenario as you do, yet your experience is your experience. If you go out to lunch with your friends and develop food poisoning, you don't need your friends to concur that the restaurant's food is unhealthy. All the evidence you require is that you have personally experienced food poisoning. Therefore, spending time trying to prove yourself right is virtually pointless. And if you were rude and looking for support for your food poisoning incident, you now truly lost ground. Recognize a person's cooperative, emotional, and logical needs. According to the Center for Creative Leadership, appealing to people's rational, emotional, and cooperative needs is the most effective persuading approach. Their rational and educational needs are driven by logic. The material that strongly affects individuals personally speaks to their emotional needs. Understanding the degree of cooperation different people require and correctly providing it are suitable needs. Understanding that various people require different things is the key to this approach. An emotional appeal will more influence some people than logical arguments. Others will prioritize the chance to work together over an emotional connection. Knowing your audience can help you determine their need to be positively impacted. You won't be successful if you don't know enough about the people you're trying to persuade. Recognize your lane. Operate from your area of expertise and zone of influence if you want to understand how to influence others. Leave everything else to others. The day when being a master of all trades was admired has long passed. Most consumers value companies that recognize their target market and cater to their needs. You are more effective when you concentrate on what you're specifically gifted and qualified to perform and then deliver that gift to the people who require it. This efficiency is appealing. If you focus more on what others do well than what you do well, you cannot utilize good influence on others. Building trust, establishing credibility, and reliability. Knowing you can rely on someone else makes life easier despite how challenging it can be. Being trustworthy gives others a sense of security and frees up their energy for other activities. People are more likely to listen to your thoughts and opinions in your personal and professional life when they feel they can trust you, which boosts your influence. They're aware that you'll pay attention to theirs. The good news is that you can earn someone's trust as soon as you meet them. Trust can be established fairly fast. Be truthful. Avoid lying. Nothing destroys trust more quickly than a falsehood. Try to be as honest and sincere as you can. Sometimes we feel that using a white lie to escape a sticky situation is acceptable. In most cases, the opposite happens. People tend to lie because it's easier and often appears like an easy way out. However, people can usually tell when your words and deeds lack integrity. Even if they don't understand why, people often feel uneasy around liars. They have an innate distrust for them. Keep to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to foster trust. Honor your commitments. Keep your word on commitments. If you do, people will come to know and trust you. When you disappoint others, it makes them question your upcoming commitments. They won't be able to depend on you in the future, damaging their trust. Develop your communication skills. You must ensure the message you desire to convey is understood when speaking to others. Always strive for clarity in your words. Make eye contact. Pay attention to what others say and avoid assumptions. Ask if you don't know, even if you believe it will make you appear foolish. Many of the little misconceptions that might damage trust can be avoided by communicating properly. Be prepared to acknowledge your mistakes. Nobody is flawless. Have you ever tried to hide a mistake or avoid dealing with it out of concern that it might make you look terrible to others? Making mistakes and owning up to them demonstrates to the other person your maturity and regard for them by being honest with them. It also alleviates the worry that you won't admit mistakes in the future. They will understand that accountability is difficult, but will respect and trust you even more. They know they can count on you to be honest with them. Show emotion openness. Being vulnerable requires trusting other people. In one way or another, you are dependent upon them. You are being vulnerable with someone when you open up to them. This demonstrates that they can be open and vulnerable with you, which fosters trust. Human behavior is based on reciprocity, so when you show someone trust, they are far more inclined to do the same for you. Have the guts to refuse something. People with people-pleasing inclinations often hesitate to say no, even when they wish to, out of fear of upsetting others. However, saying no now and again will contribute to developing trust in your relationships. They understand that you are being honest with them and understand that it is difficult when you say no to someone politely. They can trust what you say in other talks if you occasionally say no, for example. You're not simply following them for an easy life. Be generous with your contributions. Many people do the bare minimum when working in a group because they believe they can get away with it. They attempt to gain from other people's labor. When you act the other way and give liberally, you show the group you have faith in them. It presumes that if everyone contributes sufficiently, there will be a win-win result. You're demonstrating your confidence in them by asking them to do their bit and by refusing to try to freewheel and delegate all the jobs to them. People will automatically trust you if you are giving with your contributions. On the other hand, people won't trust you if you do the absolute minimum. They will be concerned that you just focus on yourself and never consider the needs of others. Shower praise on others. Don't brag about yourself. Support other people's efforts. They'll note that you used the chance to emphasize their contribution rather than putting yourself first. This is a fantastic illustration of how dependable you are. You are not only thinking about yourself. Be dependable. It is challenging to trust someone who exhibits unpredictable behavior. Even though someone appeared reliable yesterday, you can never predict their behavior today. It is therefore exceedingly challenging to put your trust in them. People feel they can accurately predict your behavior when you behave consistently. You will most likely behave in the same way in the future if you have previously acted in a trustworthy manner. Making friends and expanding your social circle. It has been demonstrated that being social and maintaining healthy relationships will prolong and improve your quality of life. Positive social interactions can ease stress, lower blood pressure, and improve quality of life. Therefore, If you don't already have a group of friends, you should learn how to make new acquaintances and expand your social network. Being social and going out can be no big deal for some people, but meeting and conversing with strangers can be terrifying for others. The fear of rejection is often one of the main causes of our anxiety when meeting new individuals. We worry, what if they don't like me? What if I'm not cool enough? What if they think I'm different or weird? Or what if they make fun of me? But if you can figure out how to push those negative thoughts out of your head, you'll have no trouble making new friends and growing your social network. Cultivating meaningful friendship. People are social beings. We crave company and a sense of belonging. The human experience includes friendship, which has the potential to be one of life's most satisfying experiences. Have you ever considered the greatest approach to fostering deep friendships? The majority of my career has been devoted to studying people. This research's main goals have been to understand human motivation and interpersonal communication better. I thought there had to be a set of rules for making and keeping genuine friendships. This list should encourage you to consider what is important to you, or, at the very least, to develop deeper and more meaningful friendships. Take time to listen. We often meet the most fascinating people when they are curious and attentive. They invite people to speak before beginning to listen. Most of us delay speaking until after we've heard the other person out. Anyone can learn to listen, but doing so requires using our ears rather than our mouths. Talk half as much as you listen. The adage is 2 ears and 1 mouth. Says easy, does hard. I am aware of this. Be sincere or true. People tend to look inward naturally. 2 things result from this internal focus. The first is judgment, and the second is exploitation. Judgment prevents us from building sincere connections. Exploitation occurs when we expect to be served rather than contribute to the connection. In a friendship, being real or authentic is having the other person's best interests in mind. Don't make out that you like someone else. In my experience, most people have endearing traits, but not everyone is endearing. Regardless of the other person's likability, we should try our best to be sincere to them, even if we decide against developing a deep friendship. Don't gossip. Naturally, we don't trust those who spread rumors. I often observe people using gossip as a method of promoting connection. Did you see what so-and-so did? Despite appearing to be a genuine connection, gossip almost always results in unfavorable collaboration. Who wants to hang around with pessimists? Negative individuals, to be precise. Negative people struggle in every relationship because those interactions are based on poor self-esteem, contempt, and judgment. If you show me someone who gossips, I'll show you someone who doesn't value themselves highly. These people try to reduce the perception of those around them to mask their low self-esteem, which is terrible and clear. Of course, they never become aware of the vicious loop of negativity because their ego will not allow them to acknowledge that they are the main cause of conflict in their relationships. Always be on time. Friends always show up for their friends. We must show up when asked to serve in friendship to show the other person that we are committed to them. True friends are there for you through good times and bad. Recognize that the people not showing up in your life aren't your friends but acquaintances. Each of us have numerous acquaintances, which is a good thing. However, keep in mind that true friends will always show up. More should be given than taken. We feel tempted to keep score in our friendships far too often. Our goal should be to help our friends meaningfully without expecting anything in return. Building deep and long-lasting connections is most easily accomplished through helping our friends. Respond. Perhaps this is just a personal peeve of mine, but you should reply when a friend contacts you. While saying no is a good response, failing to respond at all is undesirable if you want to keep meaningful friendships. Respond when a friend invites you to a gathering. Your lack of response indicates your dedication to the friendship. I have witnessed numerous relationships end because the other party remained silent. I have to be honest, I'm recovering no responders. Confidentiality. We must refrain from compromising by violating confidentiality to retain friendships established on trust. Similarly to gossip, it can ruin friendships because something said in secret should stay. This is all I have to say. Shut up. Provide guidance when asked. We are so quick to provide unsolicited advice all the time. You can probably guess I struggle with this. So if you do too, know I can sympathize. We feel forced to instruct others far too often. The important thing to remember is that you are qualified to give counsel if you have the experience. The best course of action is to ask questions if you lack experience. It can be beneficial to get advice from someone who has been there. A tactic for assisting the other person in developing their response and gaining a deeper understanding of their preferred circumstance outcome is to ask questions. Don't interrupt. Interrupting is the ultimate display of disrespect. Interrupters typically lack emotional intelligence and care little about what other people think. They have all the solutions and are eager to share them with you, or they are confident in their knowledge and want you to know it. Interrupting another person often has no justification. People who interrupt others won't make friends until they meet another interrupter who is too internally occupied and unaware of their interruption. Display genuine respect. Let's face it, it is unlikely that we will develop a deep friendship with someone if we don't appreciate them. Respecting another individual is essential for developing a relationship that lasts. Bring happiness. Long-lasting friendships involve a lot of laughter, which is therapeutic. While friendships aren't always lighthearted, they should be heavily slanted toward the positive to build lasting relationships like 10-to-1. Have a good time, laugh at yourself, and have a good time with others. Here are 2 things to be aware of. Restrict laughing at the cost of others, as in the form of gossip, and don't tease one another excessively. Sometimes it is okay, but constant is unpleasant. Empathize. Having empathy is essential to friendships. Friends rely on friends, and if we don't empathize with one another, the friendship will deteriorate. Developing and nurturing lasting friendships will greatly influence our capacity to empathize with others. Friendships are the greatest gift that someone can give another person. True friendship should be valued. They are similar to gardens in that they need to be planted, nurtured, exposed to sunlight and moisture, weeded, and protected from passing hailstorms. Following these 12 suggestions ensures your connections are lasting and enjoyable, much like a well-kept garden. How to meet new people wherever you are. We often ponder how to find our soul partner when we are single. However, we often give little consideration to how to make new friends. Finding friends is far tougher than people give it credit for, especially as an adult. Check out our advice on expanding your social network. Although you won't see benefits immediately, using these suggestions will gradually help grow your social network. Number 1, be aware of the friends you want. Ideally, this is where your circle expanding quest ought to begin. Decide what kinds of friends you want and try to find them. Ones who will embark on wild weekend adventures. Those who enjoy munching microwave popcorn while watching Netflix. List a few qualities, personality traits, or interests you find appealing. This is significant since your circle of friends serves as a window into your personality. If you surround yourself with negative people, you will be pessimistic and have a warped negative view of the world. Additionally, you must be able to balance both quantity and quality. Naturally, you want to have a sizable enough group of friends, but you also want to make sure you have at least a few close, meaningful connections with those in that group. Finding the desired ratio will also make it easier to locate people with whom you are willing to connect. Number 2, be vulnerable. It's acceptable to feel anxious and reserved at first, but eventually, you'll need to become social and more approachable. We're not advocating being a total open book or wearing your emotions on your sleeve, but You must be a little vulnerable for others to feel at ease with you. Number 3. Smile. Smiling is the best method to make friends or simply draw attention to yourself. In addition to making you appear warmer and more approachable, smiling has been shown to improve positive thinking while reducing stress. At first, smiling might need additional work, but it will certainly be worthwhile once you expand your social network. Number 4. Care. Without having concern for your new friends, you cannot expand your social network. Even while caring for the individuals in your social circle seems obvious, many people fail to put this into practice. Relationships quickly turn into one-sided affairs rather than being a source of satisfaction for both parties. You must constantly strive to be empathetic and understanding in your interpersonal interactions. Try your best to listen, offer guidance, or extend a helping hand when mingling with new people and building relationships. When you genuinely care about someone, chances are good that person will also start genuinely caring about you. Number 5. Avoid complaining. Most people don't realize how significant this is, but it is. What if a new person you met spent the entire time venting about their life, career, marriage, and every other aspect of their existence? Most likely, you'll unconsciously absorb their negativity. When you complain, all you do is dwell on the bad. Those close to you can feel bad as a result. Try to be cheerful so that others around you will want to stay. Number 6. Act as you please. If you pursue your passions, you'll meet new people who share your interests. Additionally, if you recently relocated to a new city, you can present yourself as a clean slate. Do whatever you like to feel happy because nobody knows you. Visit the gym, take a pottery class, or go dancing. You'll start meeting like-minded people to broaden your social circle in addition to having fun. Number 7. Vary your daily habits. We know that you typically take a nap after arriving home from work before going to the gym and returning home, but it's also possible that your daily schedule prevents you from meeting new individuals. Get out of your comfort zone to learn how to meet new people. So change up your daily schedule. Attempt new stuff. In this manner, you widen your circle of friends. Number 8. Examine a few various tactics. Don't get disheartened if you go out for the first time and don't meet any new individuals. You might be fortunate and meet someone right away occasionally, but more often than not, you'll need to employ various tactics. You'll make a few unsuccessful efforts but must find the approach that works for you. Number 9. Use connectors to connect. Connecting with people with a sizable social network is a fantastic way to expand your circle of friends. You can make many new friends in this method by making only one contact. Connectors already enjoy an active social life and appear surrounded by many people. These connectors will be considerably easier to get along with because they are typically eager to meet new individuals. Even though extroverts tend to be connectors, they might not have the time or energy to devote to a long-lasting connection with you. However, there's a fascinating addition to your social life because they can help you meet people seeking more substantial relationships. Number 10. Take part in activities with others. Even if you prefer to go out alone, participating in group activities will give you more chances to meet others who share your interests. Most towns and cities offer group activities, such as hiking and themed city tours, which are fantastic opportunities to meet new people. Another fantastic method to make new friends and become involved in a cause you care about is through volunteering. Number 11. Be prepared for awkward coffee dates. You may have met someone completely drunk and you both had fun, but when you finally decide to get together for coffee, everything completely fails. That is entirely typical, but you can make that person your designated drunk friend. Nothing wrong with that. Number 12. Attend a happy hour. You're missing out if you don't attend happy hour. It's a great location to meet new individuals in your field of work and get to know your coworkers. Additionally, there are inexpensive drinks, which is always a plus. Number 13. Utilize your dog. One of the easiest methods to make new friends is to have a dog. They use you, so you might as well get your money's worth from them. Who doesn't enjoy canines? Additionally, it enables you to stand at a dog park without appearing odd. Start taking the dog for walks, and you might make a few new friends. Number 14. Allow others to set you up. Perhaps a rock climber who works in your building or enjoys it is known to your mother or neighbor. Allow them to set you up. If you're already wanting to expand your social network, why not? Additionally, it might turn out pretty well, and even if it doesn't, you won't necessarily have to see them again. Number 15. Decide on your value. It's not only about the people you meet when networking or making new connections, it's also about the value you offer those you meet. One thing that attracts people to you when you first meet them is your capacity to provide them with something worthwhile. You can do two things to present a giver attitude when meeting new individuals. You can first listen to what they say, consider the problem from their point of view, and then share your experience or opinion. The second approach is to consider how you might be able to assist them, whether it be by providing your expert opinion or a fresh viewpoint. Giving input can often create a great impression, even if you're not an expert. Number 16. Establish a routine. You must settle in somewhere as a regular, whether it's a bar, book club, or yoga studio. Just establish yourself as a regular presence. You'll become friends with the staff members and other regulars. It's among the easiest methods to meet new people. Just be sure it's something you genuinely enjoy doing daily. Number 17. Make an ongoing effort to socialize with others. It's a good idea to stay in touch with new people all the time because, in most cases, not everyone you meet will wind up being a friend or part of your life permanently. In this manner, you always have fresh possibilities. Going to areas where other people will be open to meeting you is the best approach to keep meeting new people. Opening nights, galas, cultural events, seminars, presentations, and even certain networking activities can fall under this category. While going to these places isn't usually what you'd like to do on the weekend, it can help you build a huge network of unique and intriguing contacts. Number 18. Act independently. Don't always ask someone you know to do things. An excellent method to meet new people is to travel alone. People first engage with those who are alone. Additionally, it pushes you past your comfort zone. So even if you start alone, you'll end up not alone. Quite poetic. Keep this in mind when learning how to meet new people. Number 19. Take up mentoring. A great strategy to make new friends and diversify your social life is to share your knowledge, experience, and interest with someone younger or less experienced. Having friends and connections who share the same interests is boring. You can therefore change things up via mentoring. Additionally, you can discover that you have learned something new about a person, a group of people, a community, a field of work, or a sport. Number 20. Locate a community. Wherever you reside, a place close by serves as a gathering place for others who share your interests. The challenge is locating them. Church and other religious events are always fantastic venues to meet people if you practice a certain religion. Newcomers are always welcome in these settings. Number 21. Attend a class. Do you have a hobby you've always wanted to pursue but lack the resources or know-how to start at home? Enrolling in a class is a great way to make new friends and learn a new skill. There are numerous events that you could search for. There are dance lessons, cooking workshops, exercise groups, and more. There is probably a class for whatever you want to learn more about. Number 22. Utilize apps. You're in luck because there is an app for nearly everything now. There are a few apps available that might help you in finding people who are looking for friends. You can use amazing applications to meet new people in your region, such as City Socializer, Meet My Dog, Meetup, and Nearify. Number 23. Get involved on social media. Most of us already regularly use social media. Why not put it to use and employ it to connect with old friends, maintain relationships, and make new ones? Many websites are devoted to connecting you with people who share your interests if you delve deeper into the online world. You will surely meet some fantastic people you can add to your personal or professional social network, whether you join an online book club or conduct a Twitter conversation about your sector. Number 24, maintain contact. When you have a packed schedule, it might be challenging to stay in touch, but it can also be one of the most crucial aspects of your social life. Making significant and long-lasting connections is a way to maintain your social group. You need to get in touch with people you've newly met and meet up with long-lost friends. You don't have to bother them every day. You can tell them you cherish your relationship by occasionally sending them a message. Number 25, be in charge of your own social life. Taking responsibility is terrific advice for anyone trying to increase their social life. People won't immediately start approaching you because they know you're looking for new friends and contacts. In school, making friends was easy because you didn't have to put any effort into it. You and they were both present every day, but things are different now. It won't happen by having a coffee date once a month. You must work to maintain your new friendship if you don't. Decide for yourself and take the initiative to make choices that will help you grow your social circle and develop deeper connections with the new individuals you meet. Conclusion. You'll have a powerful influence over people and be able to lead more persuasively if you can put this into practice. Being incredibly charismatic has enormous power. We instinctively catch up on the other person's energy, body language, and facial emotions frame by frame. Thus, whoever is more persuasive, charismatic, or attractive will affect the other person who is less certain and switched on. Although it might seem like charisma is a natural talent or a personality attribute, many behavioral scientists think it can be taught. According to some studies, charisma combines affability, emotional approachability, and influence, one's capacity to sway or inspire others. Other people are more likely to perceive you as charismatic if you constantly smile, look someone in the eye, use your hands to communicate, and often use their name. Additionally, you'll come off as likable if you connect with them by paying close attention to what they say, owning your quirks and weaknesses, and looking for similar areas. It's crucial to remain authentic as you develop charisma, even if that means avoiding stressful public events in favor of more personal settings when you can converse clearly. Without authenticity and a genuine interest in other people, charisma cannot grow. If you start there, you might become unstoppable. Keep in mind that charisma is the ability to transmit enthusiasm. That entails having the zeal, drive, and spirit, and imparting those qualities so others might experience the same. Live by this if it helps you to recall what it is to be charismatic.
We appreciate you tuning in to one of our captivating audiobooks. For more immersive experiences, here is another audiobook we're certain you'll enjoy. Don't forget to show your support by liking this video, sharing what you loved about this audiobook in the comments section below, and subscribing for more captivating audiobooks like this. Thanks for being a part of our audiobook community.